here.
Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to Worcestery City Council 1010 million 50,000 bajillion. Worcestery Council Theater 3000, everybody. How you doing, Bill?
Oh, I'm doing great today. I'm excited to watch the city manager squirm.
Like
chief
the worm
diversity, like the worm he is. The chief diversity officer thing is going to be the big talking point of the meeting tonight. Good. And the city manager is going to have some explaining to do.
I wonder what will come of it. Gonna be interesting. So yeah, that's the big one tonight. We don't have a ton else of that's everything else seems like towny stuff, kind of.
Yeah, for
the most part. There's some other interesting.
That's the only thing of note, I would say. That's the only thing I'm personally interested in tonight.
Yeah.
But it got even more interesting yesterday. The diversity and equity inclusion committee voted to disband until the city manager did something about this whole mess. So that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's awful that they had to do that, but it's a badass move.
Yeah. And that really forces the issue. And obviously the whole conversation is going to be around two's order tonight. That I don't know if anybody saw on Facebook, but the law department tried to neuter that order before it even got on the city council agenda. The law department sent back a revised order of two's order, which if you're looking at the agenda is 10N. And the law department sent back language that they would prefer, and two, badass that they are, was just like, nope, and refiled pretty much the same exact order.
Yeah. I love it. I love that. The law department had some interesting moves because they were kind of wrapped up in that thing yesterday too. Shout out to Kevin Cassen for live tweeting the meeting last night, so that got out there a little more what was going on. But it's going to be an interesting one tonight. We are very excited. Let's first bring in our permanent guest. You know him, you love him. Put your hands together for Brendan Melican, everybody.
Yay! What's happening, guys?
How are you, sir?
Fantastic.
Hello.
So, Bill, we can summarize everything you did to open the show by saying that's not how any of this works.
Yeah. right.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, good stuff. I'm surprised, though, that you put a conversation around the CDO position over Eddie Mecca potentially having a street named over him.
Well, part of a street.
Just like 2 blocks of a street. Apparently, the law department says if it's under 2 blocks, you can name it whatever the hell you want.
Oh, my God.
It's going to be a good one tonight. But our show is going to be incredible because we have a fantastic guest with us. We're so happy that she's here with us. We're very lucky to have her. Please welcome to the show, everybody, Johanna Hampton Dance.
Woo-hoo.
Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. We're so excited to have you on.
How you doing tonight?
I'm like the awkward one.
No, that's right. Bill. Don't worry. That's Bill.
That's actually all of us.
I'm the one who fidgets.
I'm so excited to talk about everything that's going to happen tonight on this agenda. Even Eddie Mecca.
I think that the public comment tonight is going to be great. It's the city hall is going to get ripped to freaking shreds tonight by the public comments. I just know it. I just know it.
Do you have any, or does anybody have any sort of like insidery stuff as what's been going on, especially with the meeting disbanding yesterday the way it did? That caught me off guard. I mean,
that caught me off guard too. I think it caught a lot of people off guard. I was talking to two actually just before that meeting, and they had no idea that was going to happen. Like that was a big thing. I filed a bunch of record requests on this issue. I haven't gotten anything back yet, though I'm going to check right now.
So is it that they disbanded until they get answers, or until he hires a new chief diversity counselor?
disbanded until they get answers or until something changes to make the committee like more useful, I think. And the chief diversity officer is the big sticking point. But I don't think they disbanded until the city hires a new chief diversity officer. I don't think that wasn't what they did.
I like the idea of us all just disbanding, like the city of Worcester saying, like, you know what, we're just going to disband until the manager gets his shit together.
You know, I would love that. I think a disbanded city of Worcester really comes into its own very quickly.
Unincorporated territory.
Yeah, the city has to get it together. I'm excited to see what's going to happen and chime in. I'm going to try to behave myself because, you know.
Oh, please don't.
My mouth is a little crazy.
This is the show for that.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. No, it's going to be great. Do you have is there anything before the meeting starts? Is there any big stuff that you are looking forward to or want to talk about before we get started?
Well, absolutely. I mean, this is the show for it. So, I did have my second meeting today. I don't know. I know, Bill, you probably had your meeting at some point.
Mine is on Thursday.
Yes? Great.
Thursday, yeah.
Commissions and boards. It was great. Like, I felt good about it. They told me they wish they could duplicate me and put me everywhere. So that was a good feeling.
Yeah. Did they say whether or not you're on the Affordable Housing Trust Fund?
So it's still up to the city manager, and nobody will know anything until the end of March, first week of April.
Okay. Or the end of this meeting, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's actually show. Maybe a good reason to play cool
tonight. Maybe we'll just see the city manager rage quit his job tonight. That would be great. He just gets up, he walks out, he goes, "Fuck this, I quit." You fix it.
Too much stress for him. He can't handle it.
Yeah.
Other than that, just there's some stuff going on with BFT we could talk about later. That's happening.
BFT, that's Black Flames Together, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you are looking at the new political head for that organization.
Oh, congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you. And it's so odd. Like, I'm in charge of politics. I'm not even a politician, but okay, let's do it.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Why not?
Yeah, I think whatever your brand of politics is, that's the game to be in, I think.
I just call it, I'm in the people business. I'm in the people business and making sure that the people are taken care of. That's it.
We could only hope that all politicians felt like that.
Yeah. Now, Joanna, rumor is that you did move out of Candy's district, so we aren't going to see a rematch. Is that true?
I know. Yes, it is true, and I'm so sorry. I tried really, really hard to find a house to buy in D2, and there was nothing.
Yeah. She made it so. She was sweating it. So she was like, we can't let this lady live around here anymore.
But she's not out of the woods yet. There are some people I've been talking to and having conversations with that are fired up and ready to go.
Oh, hell yeah. That's what I love to hear.
Yeah. I'm going to go at large. I've made that decision to run for at large.
Amazing.
We still got to even the numbers out, Yes. And so I'm going to go at large, and I wanted to not just leave D2 without anybody. We needed a reliable candidate that we know has a little bit of name recognition in the district, is doing great things in the district, and can have the backing and support to win. Because if I just came out of the blue, nobody knew me.
40%. That's
40%. 40% out of the blue is really good for a first run. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that it's possible, and her meltdown on Gary Rosen's show didn't help either.
Oh, that was so good. That was one of my favorite recent moments.
It is saved on my computer still. I have it.
That's in my just so everyone knows, there's a Roast of Worcester tomorrow night on this Twitch stream at 8:00, and I realize that I'm horrible at writing jokes, but that is definitely an area that I'm going to focus on, is Candy Merrill Carson's meltdown.
I'm very, very, very excited. Yeah, please check it out tomorrow at 8:00. We're going to be right here on this channel. So I mean, breaking news: Johanna is running at large. I think that's one get. Do you want to break some more news about who that candidate is for D2?
Oh, don't do that. No, you can't do that because you got to keep them guessing. That's the
I
that's
gotta
where the
keep
pain
them guessing just a little bit.
Good.
But know that they are very capable. They are very capable.
Love to hear it. Yeah. If we just the numbers don't need to shift too much more to start seeing things have a big effect, I think. So
even one more progressive really changes the political equation on this council. 2, and then we're cooking with gas. But right now we just have to lose in a good way, basically, and put things on that expose how terrible everyone is and who's an ally and who isn't. But
speaking of winning, we do want to just mention, as always, we are brought to you by Craft Tea Kombucha. We'd like to thank Matt, our sponsor, the best kombucha on planet Earth. We love it so much. If your local store doesn't carry it, then you got to go in there and you got to vote them out. You got to vote the owners of the store out, and that's a legal thing you can do at any store. So
just disband the store until they get it right.
Yep. Until the city manager fixes things and gets kombucha in that store, you got to disband it.
We love craft tea. It's the only ethical consumption under capitalism.
Hey, that's a great tagline. Oh my God, Bill.
Joanna, in the comments, somebody was asking if there's anything they can do this early out to help you prepare for an at-large run.
Oh, absolutely. So, as you know, this is a game of money. My Act Blue is still up. I'm trying. My goal for an at-large run is to raise at least $30,000.
If you have a link to your Act Blue account, throw it up in the private chat that we have here, and maybe someone can pass it along.
We will throw that up in the comments. Absolutely.
And this summer, if anybody wants to host like a fundraiser or something this summer, a backyard cookout or something, I'm willing to do it. It really starts early on. When I started the last race, I started the year prior too.
Yeah.
And if you look at the stats of that race, and I don't want to spend all my time on it, but this woman had $62,000. She was a seated incumbent for 6 years, and she had team behind her.
Oh yeah.
I had maybe 5 to 6 people solidly. I raised only $8,000. And I didn't lose by a great big huge margin. So.
Listen, you raised $8,000, you double that, we get you $16,000. You got 80% of the vote right there.
That's how it works.
That's math. That's just math.
That is how it works. Yeah.
Right.
Well, we'll throw that link up tonight. I think let's get this war chest built up early.
Yeah.
And then we'll everything's much smoother sailing.
I would really like to, and I do commend Tu and Etel for actually they're actually trying to get some things done, and they're actually talking about the issues and putting the issues forth that are important. Christian has a little bit of help now.
Right. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just not enough, but
well, we're getting there.
Yeah, they're trying. So I'm happy. But I just know the reinforcement needs to be on the way.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Let's freaking go, buddy. Who's got a good fit today? Who's looking sharp?
Tu rocking the pink.
Love here. Councilor Rivera here. Councilor Rose here.
Nico. I mean,
here.
Come on. There he is.
Humana.
Here. Mayor Petty.
What a hunk.
Okay. We have no proclamation, so we'll go to the election of the city clerk for a 2-year term. We can do a roll call on that.
Councilor Bergman.
If anyone votes against him, oh boy.
Yes, roll call. Yes.
Councilor Calorio.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Councilor G.A.
Yes.
Councilor King.
Yes.
Councilor Merrill Carlson.
Yes.
Councilor Nguyen.
Yes.
Councilor Rivera,
Yes.
Councilor Rose,
Yes.
Councilor Russell,
I've never been one for formality, but does anybody know, like,
Yes.
do they have
Mayor
rules
Petty.
about dress code
Yes.
in council chambers? Like, why
Okay.
when they were remote, they were all like
We have
super
approval of the
casual?
minutes. Those in
I don't
favor,
know,
opposed,
but
so
you know what?
voted.
I'd probably be the one to
Yeah,
break
public
that pattern.
participation.
Yeah. I think I like
Okay,
Nico in a
public
sweater vest better
participation
than
for no more
Yeah.
than 2 minutes on appearing on
this
the
periwinkle
agenda.
blue nonsense.
So some people want to speak tonight.
Here we
and,
go. Public comment.
Let's go.
And
Let's see
so
what we
let's
got.
be productive here tonight. And as I say on the onset that we are committed to the work of diversity and inclusion in the city of Worcester. And
Here we
have
go.
discussion with
Get
our
out ahead of it. There you go, Mr.
council.
Mayor.
That's
always an
textbook
effective
getting out ahead of
technique.
it.
Name,
Set a
your
tone for the
residence,
evening.
Yeah.
and-
You don't
Textbook
seem
get out ahead
worried.
of it. Just want to say for the record that you guys are all wrong, but you can talk anyway.
And I'd like to
Please,
speak
please.
on 10N and 18E. And I would like to commend both Councilors Nguyen and Councilor King
Nguyen.
for bringing to the
Not as bad as it could have
attention
been.
of the council and the city of Worcester the urgency, and that's what it is.
That is a great comment.
Another chief
That is
diversity
awesome.
officer.
That suit is
And
wearing
when
Ed.
we get another one, we have to hold him here.
At least they have masks on back there. Remember last time they didn't have any masks?
Yeah,
It's
I like
been, yeah.
the chin mask thing is really kind of jumping the shark at this stage. You know, just don't wear it if you're not going to wear it. Is what
I
it is.
predict that we're in a funny spot in Worcester right now where it's like you still have the people who are just like never going to touch a mask again. And then the sane people that are realizing that China and Hong Kong are going dark and are like, oh, maybe this isn't as over as the city manager claims.
Yeah.
Yeah. England's cases are skyrocketing right now.
Tell you what, Mac, you got to get back to work.
We don't know why they're not able to promote.
Good. She took it off. She heard us.
Yeah.
We don't know why.
She's like, what am I doing?
In or out, lady. Come on. Pick up your mic.
We don't know why they're not able.
You're right, lady. It looks better as a bracelet.
Yeah.
No, I have 2 minutes,
Yeah, I know you
Mr.
don't.
Mayor. It says so.
Oh,
right
that's
here.
right. Get them.
You're right. I'm just giving you a little heads up.
Okay.
Hold
And I'm not the only one.
Do they
that
have a
wants
little
to
counter
know
there?
this.
Joe's
The
got an egg
people of
timer.
the
Just
city,
little,
we the people
like the days of our lives. It's,
Thank you.
She demanded her 2 minutes.
Oh,
I hear
yeah.
you,
Trying to give
sister.
people warnings to come to close to the 2 minutes. That's all. Okay.
Joe is right
your
on the
name,
edge
city of
tonight.
residence, and item number, sir?
Yes, my name
Joe
is
hates this.
Bernard Grace.
Oh
I
no,
reside
my
here in
Senate
the city,
campaign's going bad because we're
and
so
I am a
racist.
member of the
This
This
is
wasn't
a
in the
secret,
script,
by the way.
Inclusion
Ooh, that
Advisory
tie.
Committee,
Yeah.
along with my colleagues.
You
I
went
just
clean
want
as
to
in the
say
Board of Health.
this,
You
and
said,
I'll
I'm dressing
be
to the
brief.
nines.
My wife told me to write it down, so I won't talk too long. And I got to go back home after this meeting.
That's right. The wife is
So,
right,
nice
always.
to see you, Mr. colleagues. When I met with,
Pocket square
our
too.
city
The man looks good.
manager, Mr. Gusser, he
I
asked
missed this
me,
guy's. What's
would
this
I be
guy's name?
committed to being
I don't
Anyone
know.
catch it? Yeah,
No.
I missed it.
I was looking at
In the
I was trying to read it on the
I
thing.
told
It
him I
didn't
can commit
it didn't come through
my
on the.
schedule
Yeah.
for second Mondays. The only Monday that I would miss, I'll be in my holy convocation of Church of God in Christ in Memphis on the second Monday in November. So from June 2019, even to this yesterday's meeting, I've been present. But I find out that when I first arrived, we had Sujal was the chief diversity officer, and then out of nowhere, without knowing, the committee had no knowledge of it, we found out that she was out. And then on Wednesday of last week, reading the TNG, I see that the city diversity officer is out. So I called and couldn't get through, so I emailed Stephanie. She didn't get back to me right away, so I emailed another person in HR, and then they said that they were surprised too.
So
that,
he's
they
on
saw
the
in the
diversity and inclusion committee.
Now, I don't know what
Mhm.
sort of communication you have in the city, but I took that a little bit, very trivial for someone to be telling me that I'm 70 years old and I was born in the day, but it wasn't yesterday. So I took homage to that by not knowing. So what I'd just like to say, that effective communication is key. It has been said that effective communication is like oxygen to healthy relationships. Effective communication is one of the key elements in the equation of building successful organization, institutions, marriage, and relationship.
Yenny, you have not missed anything important.
Results in dire consequences.
You saw the mayor very feebly trying to get out ahead of the ensuing conversation about the chief diversity officer by saying that they are very committed to diversity.
Dissolve because of miscommunication.
Which, whenever you're saying that you're very committed to diversity, it's kind of like
don't communicate effectively
proving you're not.
Others in their sphere of influence. People feel
it's like the reason why you have to say that is proof enough that you're not actually.
Therefore, what works?
Even though he's saying some good stuff, do you notice how they cut off that older woman and let him talk longer than her?
Yeah, and you know what that probably is?
Go around and spreading their realities.
It's probably because he's on the board that just disbanded, and they're trying to not getting any more shit over it.
Well, you can't pick and choose. You just
yes, you can. This is Worcester, baby. Worcester's all about the picking and the choosing. Oh, come on. Of course you can pick and choose. That's how this city was built.
Did your name see your residence?
Bernard
My
Reese.
name's Adam Filker. I'm currently living in West Boylston. I've been involved with advocating for a better bus system for over 4 years at this point.
Adam Filker is really cool. He's one of our best transportation activists. Really, really has been working on the bus issue for a long time.
In the way that
I think I've seen him once, and he was very, very upset about not getting wages during working for through the pandemic.
Everybody knows, but that's just not true. There are new
or COVID, essentially weren't getting essential worker pay.
There are a lot of people who aren't going to be riding the buses.
Yeah, I did a story on the bus with him when I was at Worcester Magazine, and it went really well.
Especially with Polar Park and all of that. It may be that they wish to park on the outskirts of town and take a bus in if it's free. That would be a plus for everybody in the city. But in order to do this, we're going to have more transparency at the WRTA.
I wonder what they're chatting about back there.
So I'm also asking, in addition to everything else, that the city council ask the WRTA board if they could please start meeting in a hybrid form rather than just doing it on Zoom, because that way we can have better input. I can ask follow-up questions and all of that, and we can get this thing done. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else? Casey, just your name, see your residence, and item number.
Hi, my name is Casey Burns. Worcester is my city of resident, and I am here to speak primarily on behalf of item 16B, the Coalition for Healthy Greater Worcester, in collaboration with the Community Health Improvement Plan, started in 2018.
I didn't even catch that one.
Working on a strategy to address
I was
safe,
horrible.
accessible places to play for all Worcester
I didn't come prepared for the test.
We hired a parent organizer who did it.
This is about a playground at Goddard School. Sarai Rivera held
playground and play space, and looked at places where there needed repairs
Which
and
is
other
fine.
things to address, and found there were only 5 schools with no playground at all, and then did a prioritization on what schools didn't have anywhere near them and were really priority populations, and decided to focus on Goddard School. We've since developed a plan with a really deep community engagement process, and I know there are folks here like Kwame who you're going to hear from who runs amazing programs in the community that need a place to hold that. I know my daughter goes to them, and I'm really excited to talk about this item on the agenda that I know Councilor Rivera is going to bring up. We also took the bus today here for the free fare.
So I got a little inside scoop that the city manager was going to talk about this chief diversity officer problem
really intentional
before
transition process.
Anybody else gets a chance to speak.
And happy to
that would be just great.
Yeah,
it'll be a great time to resign.
Thank you.
Yeah, it'd be really good to talk over on 2's item, which the law department already tried to
Yes,
nix.
hello everyone. My name is Kwame Apia. I'm a resident of Worcester.
Oh, Kwame.
And I deeply support what Casey spoke about. My son, Yao Miguel, he's in the back. Currently, he's a freshman at Bronco High School. He started school at Lincoln Street School. And I could remember the days when that Lincoln Street School had no playground. And I remember most of the issues he used to have was around recess time, because recess time was times that kids pretty much just roamed around. And I can remember looking back how having a playground at the Lincoln Street School kind of improved his behavior, kind of made him really enjoy being in school. I deeply support that whatever playground that you also put at guarded school is going to help Worcester families, because on a given Saturday or Sunday, Worcester Youth Soccer typically hosts all their games there. There's about maybe 400 residents that go to that area on a given Saturday. So it'll also give the children an outlook, and also somewhere
everyone
to
follow
be able to
for
play,
Jack
even
Murray's.
if they don't want to engage in the soccer activities. And I also
it's a video. Oh boy!
I'm really glad you guys approve.
One of the issues that I notice when it comes to that particular part of the city is that the parents that bring their children to soccer typically on Saturdays, the children that don't engage in the soccer
Not that
activities,
playgrounds are not important, but I'm waiting for the juice of it all. Can we get to the meat?
If you have a playground, at least the kids can learn how to play with each other well. And
there's so much.
Also, I think Worcester is so great in terms of having playground in other schools. So I think as city councilors, maybe one of the things you can do is maybe visit the schools during recess and pretty much observe for yourself and talk to some of the teachers about
asking them to be
how they
interactive
feel
with
about having a
people,
playground in that particular
children
school.
especially.
And I also welcome you guys to in April.
Illegal.
Worcester Youth
That's not
Soccer
going to
starting.
happen.
So maybe Saturday, and you will really enjoy it. It's almost like the UN. All cultures.
Maybe if those kids were at the Boynton.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much. Anybody else? Your name, city residence, and item number?
Sure. Good evening. My name is Lee Woodruff. I live in Worcester, and I'd like to speak on the items related to the Chief Diversity Officer. I think there are several, including 10N and 18C. So good evening, councilors. A couple of years ago, I was asked to join the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee of the city, and I did so, and that was during the tenure of Suja Chaco as the Chief Diversity Officer.
Must be the whole committee they're
Shortly after
speaking.
that, she left abruptly. We were not told why or given any advanced warning.
Word to our viewers, Bill's having a little computer issue, but he'll be right back.
We would have an
It
opportunity
got to him.
participate, the committee members,
Shut down the whole block's internet.
laying the groundwork to
While I was away, did anyone go completely off script and bring up Eddie Mecca way?
Not yet, no.
Qualifications, we would seek an
Not
chief
yet.
diversity officer and participate in the process.
We
of
thought that's
finding-
what was happening. You were running down there to do that.
The next thing that we heard was that a new officer had been selected. So we were not involved in that process. However, I do want to say that I think Stephanie Williams and her predecessors seem to have been wonderful people, highly educated, committed, and appropriate choices.
That's where I know
But
him
no matter
from.
how good a chief diversity officer is individually, and no matter if we have a diversity, equity, and inclusion committee, those things are never going to make a difference, ticking off those boxes for our city, unless there is full commitment from city leadership, involvement, communication, as my colleague Dr. Reese said, and really ongoing truth-telling about the situation in our city and dealing with those issues. Last year, our former chair had to leave because he took a job at another city, and I found myself put in the position of a chair of the committee. And last night, I called for a vote to suspend our operations on that committee. And the reason I did that is that I think I and my colleagues who are here tonight, at least, had started to feel complicit somehow. We felt that if we continued to go through the motions of showing up for our monthly meetings when we didn't even have enough members often to come and make a quorum, that we were saying that everything was okay, that having this committee and having a chief diversity officer was enough to deal with the issues in our city. It is not, and it never will be. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else in the audience? Fred?
Hey, they took a stand. They stood for something.
Item number?
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Fred Taylor. I'm a resident of the city of Worcester, and I'm also the president of the NAACP. Thank you for having me here tonight, and I want to thank everyone who spoke on those items related to diversity tonight. I want to speak on items number 10N and 18E. Those are related to diversity. Last week, I put in a press release. I was a little frustrated, like many folks from the community, about what had happened with the chief diversity officer. But I wanted tonight to say that this isn't specifically about Stephanie Williams, who's a great person who I've had many conversations with. This is about the position and structurally what we can do to fix what's happening, because obviously something is not working here. Tonight, I want to call for an audit or an independent investigator like Councilor Nguyen called for to find out exactly what happened. I would also like to ask that we hold off on hiring someone, because that's not going to help if we get someone new in this position and we don't find out why people aren't staying in this position. So those are some things that I like to call for. I do understand that there's challenges. This is a really stressful position, but I think that Stephanie, and I spoke with Suja a couple of times, but I think that she was a really qualified candidate to do this job. I don't really know, to be honest, exactly why she left, but I do know that she did leave, and I know that since 2016, we've had 3 diversity officers, and none of them stayed longer than 2 years, and I think that that's a problem. This is a great city, and I think we can do better, and I think we should do better, and I think with the work of myself and other community members, we should all come together and work together to solve this problem and get a diversity officer here that can work with this diversity inclusion committee and make Worcester a better city than we are right now. We are a great city, but we can always be better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well said, Fred. Well said.
Well said there. Then we have Mr.
I was actually just going to bring up what Jack just commented jokingly, but being serious, like we just went through this with the fire department, doing an internal audit and review, and it was super uncomfortable for everybody. But what they uncovered is that there are just tons of problems that run throughout the institution that we ignore because, well, it's the way we've done it forever. Sometimes just looking in the, forcing yourself to look in the mirror that way is important.
I support the playground on Grove Street, and I think that you guys should make a field at the playground, because it'll make the kids function more.
Hell yeah, dude.
It'll make the kids come together and be friends.
I love it when the kids step up and state their piece.
Stop bullying at school. And they need it, because some schools don't even have playgrounds. So that's why I think that you guys should build a playground at Grove Street School. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Don't clap for him. That makes it.
So, Mr. Mayor, I think we'll start with folks who are on the phones and then electronic devices. If you wish to speak and you're on the virtual platform on the Zoom meeting tonight, I'm going to ask the folks raise their hands if you're on electronic devices. And if you're on the phone, if you can please press *9. For the folks on electronic devices, once I unmute you, I'll send you an unmute request. You have to accept the request in order for you to speak, and then we'll go from there. In terms of folks on the phone, if you can please press *9 if you wish to raise your hand. And then once I've unmuted you, you want to press *6 so you can begin your testimony and unmute yourself.
Sorry, I had to jump off for a second, but that kid fucking rules.
Right?
I love when the babies step up and speak their piece.
That must have took so much courage.
Ms. Gaskin, you can go ahead. I've unmuted you now if you want to accept the unmute.
Hi, thank you. Hi, so obviously my name is Jennifer Gaskin. I'm a resident of Worcester, Massachusetts. I would like to speak on Article 10N, as many others have spoken there in the gallery. I would have to agree with a number of people who have spoke before me and ask that the city, the administration, not only the administration in City Hall, but the other city departments really take the time to reflect on what has occurred and what needs to be done in order to move forward with the Chief Diversity Officer position. Stephanie Williams made it very clear in her statements to the Worcester Telegram and Gazette as to what she felt like the issues were and why she was unable to do her job. She felt like the city wasn't ready. The city wasn't ready to take accountability and responsibility for actually putting in place real diversity plans and real action in terms of diversity. And like I said, that includes not only the people who sit in City Hall, but the people who sit under the city in the different city departments, whether it be the school department, inspectional services, parks and recreation, whoever sits under the city, you guys really need to take
How many people have spoken so far from the public on the
what
diversity
of accountability is in
This is the first one, I believe. Jen is.
Yeah.
First one.
Everyone else was part of the committee, and then
I would
Fred Taylor.
strongly encourage that happens.
Oh, okay. How many committee members though?
You hire another person,
Like
whether that
two or
means
three?
that you need to bring on an outside consultant to
I don't
do
think
work
they were all
with
there.
the administration and in various departments before you begin to interview. But you really need to take
Well, I mean,
a
we
step back
expected that
and
this was gonna be
understand
big.
what is occurring, why you're unable to keep a chief diversity officer.
The chair of the
and
committee
what
spoke
barriers
and
you're putting in place. You really need
made
to
it sound
stop
like some of the
wasting
challenges are
time
that they
of the
rarely even have a
community.
quorum
You need
at
to stop
the on the
hiring
board
people and wasting
to
their
do
time
anything
if
when
we're
they do
not
And that
ready
they
to
were
actually
feeling
do
complicit,
real
which I think is a
action,
really good
in
point and a
support of
really good reason
diversity.
for them to
Thank you.
take a pause.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good point to be made.
Mr. Mayor, the next speaker.
And I just got to
is
say it
Janet
because it is what
Alfaro.
it is.
I'm gonna try
I
to
love
unmute
that it
Janet
came
now.
from a white woman.
Even if she wears her mask funny.
Oh, that lady's the chair of the board?
Janet?
Yes.
Yeah. Lee Woodruff, I think her
Hi,
name
my
is.
name is Janet Alfaro. I am from Worcester. I am calling in regards to the Article 16B, and I am calling because I'm a parent of a former student at Garter School, and I'm also hired by the Healthy Greater Worcester to help with this playground project. And I just want to say that this playground project will be very
I'm not trying to be funny, but like
beneficial
a
to our
playground
community,
project,
our kids,
is that
just to
really
give
an
them a
agenda
safe
item?
space for
Like,
them
couldn't
to
that
be
just
able
be
to
like,
play,
we need a
for them to
playground?
be able to build.
Yeah, I don't know
a
why
lot of the
it
team
is on the
building skills
agenda.
that we need in our community. I also think that will help them with their
Were they
mental
denied?
and
Was it
physical
denied?
health.
And then
This
they're
is-
just
this-
looking
this
for
is
a
a lot of things
more
that I
public
feel like will be
course of
helpful
action.
for our
I gotta
youth
pull up the
and our
actual agenda and
community. I
see
know
what
we
the
often
item
ask
is.
ourselves, like, how can we help the youth?
I read it.
What
It
can
didn't
we
jump
do?
out as
Well, right now we're saying
anything
this is what we
too
could do
complicated.
for our community. This is what we could do for our kids.
Oh wait, it says
so
with
they
a
could
report
have a
concerning
safe
any
space
actions taken
where they
relative to the
play
installation of a
and they
playground
play
at the Guard
many
School.
things.
I wonder
And
if
this
there's
will
some
be like
more
a
to this.
There's definitely more to
purpose
it, but
playground,
I'm not sure what
which
the extent of it is.
will
I haven't
allow
looked
them to
into
play
it.
the soccer, the volleyball, the football.
Just build the
These
playground,
are things
you know?
that will
Evereverywhere.
help
Yeah.
them
Build the damn
with
playground.
their social
Just build a
skills.
fucking playground. Like,
So if you could take in consideration
this doesn't have to be
just
some big
helping
thing.
build this playground,
Thanks, Yenny.
because this will really help our community. I'm not saying that this will answer all the issues that we have within our community and our youth. However, this will be a great start for our community and our youth to move forward so that they could have something positive to look up to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, the next speaker identified as Margaret Barnett. I'm going to try to unmute Ms. Barnett now.
Margaret. Hey, whatever happened to Margaret Melican?
My name is Margot Barnett.
Dead?
And I'm a resident
She's
of
not
Worcester.
dead. Cousin Margaret
I
still
wanna
lives.
I'm speaking on
Is that your
items
cousin?
10N and
Oh yeah.
15E.
There's
No
only,
way.
There's literally like only one
Council
Melican family in the
meetings where
world.
I never ever made that connection.
Yeah, no, we all hail from the
diversity
same corner of
office
County
to
Clare,
a
Louis
cabinet
Casey,
level.
but
That was a really good thing, and
doesn't mean
commend you
we
at
all
that
agree
time.
on everything.
But I also said
Yeah.
that
Well,
one
I
staffing
won't
person
talk any
would not be
promotion on
able
the
to
program.
accomplish all that needs to be done, and I think we've seen that that's true.
Just
My
haven't
own
heard her in a
experience
while.
is
Haven't
that
heard
learning
from
how
her.
to tackle racial injustice is an ongoing journey. We don't see how embedded racism is in all our systems until we learn how to look. A lot of people say they don't see any racism. Well, we don't see it until
Like
we
the
learn
chief
how to
of police of Worcester.
and then we
Yeah,
see
right.
it everywhere. Some
God,
of our
it's so
neighbors
fucking
are
annoying
saying
still
ouch,
to
and
this
they've
day
been
that he
saying
said
ouch for
that.
a long time.
Yeah.
And we need to take it seriously. And good intentions are not enough. I echo the statements made by Ms. Gaskin and Mr. Taylor.
Hey, what everyone think of the mayor's state senate video? Pretty good, huh?
Organization is not ready. We need
We love that.
self-reflection, as some people have said before, to become ready. Councilor Nguyen
He was in some sort of cave or like basement or something.
Assessment to do that.
I don't even know how I feel about
Experts in
his
the
run
field
for
guide, and I urge you to
there.
follow that path.
I think I've already decided that Robin Kennedy would be a lot better than him.
Like
somebody
so political.
Yeah.
The problem with that video is it's as stupid as it is. It actually
Hi, my name
does
is
like
Janet
hit a lot of
Davis.
notes
I'm
for
also
like your
a
average Worcester
resident,
voter,
and I'm
Yeah.
also
and
calling
Worcester makes up
about
70%
item
of the district.
10N. I just
Yeah,
want to
for
echo
sure.
what other people have already said. I am definitely in favor of the suggestion of getting an independent audit and to do that self-reflection on why people in this position have not been successful, to look at what the structural issues are. I liked how one person had said, to do that truth telling, to really look at what's happening inside the city and all of the departments. And as somebody else had mentioned, to really be ready to take on another chief diversity officer and do the work that needs to be done. Thank you.
Who's this speaking?
Thank you. Next speaker.
I didn't catch it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
It's not always very easy to
We
catch
try
it when
unmute
somebody
Superintendent
says who they
Benenda.
are.
Madam Superintendent.
What?
Superintendent.
Hello,
Wait a
can
minute.
you hear me okay? Good evening. I want to talk today about the playground for our daughters.
She's still alive?
Playground. I also want to acknowledge all the work that has been already completed with the playground. It is really amazing collaboration.
All right, what is the deal with this playground? Why is this a political issue? It's a fucking playground.
Mind you, the Worcester accent is still garbage.
The manager as our quarterback of our playground.
Marin Benenda has probably one of the finest examples of the Worcester accent.
And why it's garbage.
Yeah.
Lisa,
I was gonna say she sounds so New England.
Than Lisa's without one. It also provides.
I've left Worcester 3 times in my life. One
All
time to
3
go to
times.
Hyannis, one time to go to Old Orchard Beach, and one time to go to New York, and I hated it. I fucking hate New York.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Oh, it's terrible.
I threw a beer at Derek Jeter.
Yes, thank you. I'm a Worcester resident. I would like to first express solidarity with those who've spoken about the chief.
I have only ever ordered a nice coffee from Boston Donuts on Park Ave.
It sounds just like that.
I also like to talk briefly on item 10B, which is to do with the flooding at Beaver Brook Park.
My name's Superintendent Marin Benenda. I got my job because of my dad, like everyone else in City Hall.
Sometimes, both on the east side between the baseball fields and the impromptu skate park, and then on the north side.
Don't talk about that. They'll tear it down again.
By the youth center,
They already did.
It floods quite badly, and
Well, they'll tell
I
it down
hope
for
the
the
city
second time,
takes a look
third
at
time.
this and see
What
how
are we
that can be
talking about here?
remediated. It's quite an important area.
Just don't
for
have
a lot
fun
of
is
folks
the
in the
moral of the
community
story.
who use it for
Don't
many
do anything
different
cool in
sports.
Worcester, they'll take it from you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The item everyone is that guy was just speaking on, but I'm sure is going to come up again. 10B.
Beaver Brook Park, right?
Yeah. What's hilarious to me about that was, so I'm on the school building committee for the Doherty project. And that's the site that everyone was going nuts over. That would be like the perfect location for the high school. And everyone was just like, it's in the middle of literally a floodplain. Like,
right.
It's called Beaver Brook for a reason. Just because it's underground now doesn't mean you can just go build shit on it. It's
wow. Build a school there. Let it flood.
Yeah. Put it on stilts. It's fine.
Hey, when you stack your conservation commission, anything's possible.
To those of you who
all of a sudden Gary Rosen's on the conservation commission.
Yeah, right. Hey, we need to put this high school in a wetland in a flood zone.
Even better yet,
Gary Rosen on the
what Yenny's pointing out is partly true, but like they were talking about Foley Stadium, and like Foley Stadium, that site is where we used to just like throw all of our fill, like when we did construction elsewhere. So it's just layers upon layers of like radioactive garbage that now is capped with sports for the youth. But like again, don't put a school there. That's not good.
Yeah. You know what's good is digging a foundation in the toxic garbage. So
Yeah. Do it anyway.
We want to be digging foundations, folks.
Human good, human lives are at stake here.
Whoa.
We need to do
that was
this.
Dramatic. What is she talking about?
Eddie McAway.
And I am a resident of Worcester. Thank you.
She's talking about the playground, and I gotta say, I don't know what's going on with this playground.
She wasn't talking about the playground.
She wasn't?
No, she was talking about the chief diversity officer and how we need to do this.
Oh, my bad. I'm an asshole.
It was so extra dramatic, though.
Thank you so much.
Either way.
It was very
Thank you,
dramatic.
everyone. I appreciated the opportunity to speak. I was asked to speak. I'm going to say a few words really quickly, as much as I can. So it's not a coincidence that the Chief Diversity Officer, Stephanie, and others before them have left. It's not a coincidence.
Certainly not.
It's not a coincidence that the Diversity Inclusion Committee did what they did and stopped their workings, the things that they've been trying to do. It all ties to what I've been talking about when I was the chair and the vice chair of the Board of Health. That
this is David Fort.
Racism, which is a public health issue, in addition to
Sounds
safety
like
issue.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that in my notes. I don't.
That if you're not
I want to
ready,
talk
if
to him,
the government,
but I don't know
leadership
anyone who
is
has
not
his number.
ready to make
Does
changes,
anyone have his number?
we're
Send
gonna
it to me.
continue to have
I
these
can
issues.
get his number.
I support.
Can you get his
the
number?
city councilor
Yeah, it's
and
not
Can
hard
you
to
get it
get.
for me?
But actually, I
Mhm.
mentioned
Thank
before,
you.
even at one of the Board of
I
Health meetings,
gotcha.
probably even two, that I could do your audit for you.
It's been like the back of my mind for months now, being like, hey, I should really talk to that
The
guy.
city council is not ready.
That guy might
to
have a
make
thing or two to
changes.
tell
We're gonna
me.
Continue to have issues.
He's nice. He's a
people like
nice person.
Tiffany
He
and
will
others
tell
that
you
are
whatever it is you want to know. He
leaving,
does not hold
and
his
that's what we're
tongue.
going to continue to see.
Excellent. I
mean,
will follow up with you
concrete
after the
example
stream.
is the police department.
Yes.
That is one of the biggest issues here when it comes to
The
standing
link
in
that
the
just
way,
went out,
or
Main South
standing in
Mom,
the
you
way
asked what the job
of it-
description
of-
mentioned.
of change and making changes.
All the job
So, for
description
example,
mentions
like
is
this,
diversity and hiring
2
and
years
whatnot.
ago,
So
we had
yeah,
the
that is
chief of
still,
police who said
at least
that
according to
he
the city.
didn't see racism. He didn't believe that there was any racist or biased cops on the police force.
Yeah.
Nothing was done with the police chief.
Nothing was done.
No one.
You're not
The
wrong.
story of Worcester.
Nothing. He doubled down, tripled down. We also had the city of Worcester spend thousands and thousands of dollars in litigation from withholding critical information, public information from public. And basically the Telegram and Gazette had to sue the city in order to get this information.
Yeah.
And the city lost on that. We just had 2 police officers. The city had to pay $100,000 for 2 police officers
Can you wrap up?
who were who took drugs. Unfortunately, what I'm saying to you is that
Well, no, they didn't just take
nothing's gonna
drugs. They
change
did cocaine
unless
while playing Jenga.
you, the city
The
council,
worst
make
possible
changes.
cocaine-related activity.
There's been lots of
They
people who are
took cocaine. They had to get hit with the Narcan.
Yeah.
We're gonna continue to have Chief
They
Diversity
were
Officer
obviously
be-
fucking
Thank you for
rookies.
saying that, Joanna, because like I cannot wrap my head around that narrative where it's like, okay, Narcan doesn't do shit for cocaine. Why don't we just acknowledge what was actually going on here? It was
Yeah.
It was
it's
something
probably
else.
It was fentanyl. It had to be
Yeah.
fentanyl. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
They're putting fentanyl in the cocaine these days.
I'd just like to talk about
it sucks.
getting more resources for the homeless people. We
I
in
don't
Maine
know why
South
they're doing
specifically,
It's not on the. I don't want to be rude. Right?
We need-
It's
we
not
need
on
to-
the. It's not on the agenda tonight. So
what isn't
if we
on the
want
agenda?
Talk to the clerk.
Homeless people. Help for more, more resources for homeless people. No. Does it need to be for you to talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a rule. That's a rule.
I believe Worcester Friends. We try to unmute them now.
But the optics of cutting somebody off who wants to talk about helping the homeless
Sorry, it's not Worcester Friends. I guess I didn't change it. This is Tom
Listen,
and
it shows the character.
Yeah.
in Worcester, and
Just
we
let
are
him
calling
speak for 2 minutes,
in
honestly.
support of item 10N also, as the previous speakers have demonstrated. There is an obvious problem since we can't keep a diversity officer. There needs to be change all the way up and down Worcester government. And I appreciate this motion.
I'm like giddy and antsy because I want to hear the response to this 10N item.
I know. I cannot wait to hear the city manager wriggle and squirm about this one.
Our lives.
I'm
so that
super
our
excited,
government will look
honestly.
like the people who live in Worcester. Thank you.
My administration has done such a good job on diversity and inclusion. I hired Eric Batista.
No, he's going to mention the executive order and how they met everything that was included in the executive order. And
No,
he's
that's
the one
exactly
who
what he's
put
going
it
to do.
forth.
Yeah.
Hi,
He's gonna
so
talk about
my
it.
name's Dewey Cosgrove, obviously, and I'm a 17-year-old resident of Worcester, and I'm here to show my support
Dewey
for
Cosgrove's a
agenda
good name.
item 10N
That's a
as
great
well.
name.
And I think I speak for myself and for a lot of other young people in Worcester when I say that I think we need a change in the city, if only to make our generation and next generation safer and make our lives more
Man, these
equitable.
kids really want this
And
playground.
it honestly surprises me that after so many
Come
people
on,
have
that's not what she's talking
in the same
about.
position, we'd
Get outta
continue
here.
to work.
Lives are at
We'd
stake.
continue to do the same
Lives are at
thing,
stake,
which
folks.
obviously isn't working. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Dewey
job, Dewey
Cosgrove.
Cosgrove. Dewey Cosgrove is a great, like, old timey, like,
Yeah.
novel
Sounds like a
name.
Doonesbury name.
Yes, it does.
Hello.
Go ahead, Dan. Just your name and city of residence.
Yes, my name is Dan Satchwell, and I am a resident of Worcester, and I'm calling regarding item 16B, the playground next to Goddard School. So I'm a director for a youth program cultural exchange through soccer. We run programs at Goddard School. On the weekend, we have kids from,
Main South Mom. I think that's where that's exactly the frustration articulated in Stephanie Williams' statement.
It's everything through soccer.
Is that she just didn't think she had the tools to do anything really useful to solve any of the structural problems that Worcester has.
Right. And in the absence of those tools, you're just you're providing cover.
Yeah.
For children and youth.
And I think it's a lesson that they just are like kind of immune to learning. They don't want to learn that lesson, right?
They're not trying to learn that lesson.
Exactly. And that's the big problem here.
And we are obviously supporting this effort.
See, this is why I wish I was on the council, because this item would not even be on the agenda. They would just have a playground. We would be funding it.
Yeah.
Standing order. Somebody asked for a playground. Build a fucking playground.
Like the kids want recess.
I assure you, the backstory behind why this playground hasn't been built yet is dumber than anything you could think of yourself. I assure you that the real reason
there is definitely some fabric of the neighborhood going on somewhere behind this order. Yeah, no question.
Well, it's Lincoln Street School.
I'm in support.
You have to think of the area, the drug addicts that have been in that area lingering. I went to one of the meetings and they were talking about how there was poop on the stairs. It was just unsafe. But
our pets' heads are falling off.
Which is very concerning. This is a huge win and a benefit for our community.
Give the kids playgrounds. Beat childhood obesity.
Fair, open hearings on the new rate structure for the buses. There's an upcoming hearing. We want to make sure that all the community knows about it and can participate. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, that concludes public participation.
I got a rate structure for you.
I'm going to build a playground myself. I'm going to go and buy some swing sets and a slide and some AstroTurf and build them a playground myself.
Here's your goddamn playground.
Are the pieces of Rocket Land still sitting around in Auburn somewhere? We can just pick those up.
Works.
Fuck you, kids. Here's your playground.
Traffic and parking.
Enjoy.
All those in favor?
Might need a helmet and some knee pads, but you'll be all right.
9-8.
Everyone's
This is a
got their tetanus shot, right?
9-8.
This is a non-union job.
Motions to adopt. All those in favor? Opposed? So ordered.
Oh no, Squeebo.
We'll go to
Am I breaking this news to you?
Oh no.
I was there the day in like 2000 when they were loading up on a truck and driving it away.
Acquiring an
That was
external
a heartbreaking day.
diversity, equity, and inclusion consultants with a long
He's talking.
He's talking about this one.
Yeah,
let's,
racial
I think this is 10N.
issues in addition to indigenous, Latinx, Asian, and new immigrant communities to assess the city's chief diversity officer position, determine the following, but not limited to, what the position needs to be successful, including metrics, short-term and long-term goals and growth of the position, potential challenges, what resources they need to be effective, and the power analysis of the position in connection to the jurisdictional decision-making power and impact across the departments and the financial decisions to ensure progress toward racial justice. Determine how best to lead ongoing expert-lived experiences, led intersectional DEI, anti-racism training, and for all full-time, part-time, and seasonal employees.
Oh, Ed's ready to fucking
DEI work culture.
Man, he's going into mansplaining Super Saiyan mode right now.
For the to recruit, create career pathways, and return BIPOC employees. So, Councilor Nguyen.
Oh, I didn't speak first. All right.
First, I want to thank all the community folks who really raised their concerns. And I also want to commend Stephanie Williams for her efforts in the city. I'm glad she was able to reclaim her narrative and really share with us, parts of her. And, I think when something's not working, the right thing to do is figure out why, especially when it's stated that the position is proven exhausting, particularly when organizations are not ready, which I think leads us to ask, as many people stated, why are we not ready? What is the disconnect between organizational and institutional impact? Our city's Diversity and Inclusion Advisory Committee has also expressed their frustration and suspended work until they got support from city leadership. We have seen statements from the NAACP, Black Families Together, Leon, the Latino Empowerment Organizing Network, and MOAD, the Massachusetts Organization of African Descents. I believe we need to follow their leadership and guidance on this, on getting an assessment done and hiring consultants to really do this work, as well as holding off until we hire a new chief diversity officer. What are we going to do to really acknowledge the harm and reconcile this matter? I also want to echo that for me and for a lot of people, this is not about a person. This is about a structural systemic pattern and a cultural issue. This happened before, but I've also been misgendered many times by city staff. And during my orientation here, someone from HR looked at me, sat in front of me, and said, "I'm glad there's more women in these positions."
Welcome to Worcester administration.
I'm the first Southeast Asian counselor.
From HR.
Yeah.
You have one job.
Everyone is included.
Your state celebrated the most diverse council and school committee to be elected. I am in my 3rd month of being a city councilor, and we're seeing the 3rd chief diversity officer leave in 3 years. The city cannot celebrate us without creating an actual seat for us at the table, especially one that we earned and fought for. If our city leadership does not take the steps to follow community guidance
story that Annie just posted?
And commit to diversity, equity, and inclusion,
Let's put a pin in this for now. I want to return to that later.
In withdrawing my participation in any celebration of the city's 300 year. I want a government in Worcester that reflects the people that I know and love. That's what I want to celebrate. Thank you.
Wow, what a good close to that statement. Holy shit.
God damn.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Sue.
You came with the boxing gloves on, baby. That's great. They withdrew from the tercentennial, just like NAACP. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job.
And again, Worcester Council Theater 3000 has also withdrawn from the tercentennial.
Yeah, we were actually the first one. We were actually before the NAACP. So
yeah, we don't want any extra credit for that. We just
we don't want to have any extra credit. We just want people to know that and understand it.
Appreciate the community.
Oh, that deserves applause.
Yeah, we deserve a lot of applause. We deserve
I
all
mean, we also were never invited, but still, the point stands.
What I heard today from the community.
Thank you, Molly. Thank you.
Questions about
Molly O'Connor, one of our roasters tomorrow night on twitch.tv/Wootenandy Comedy.
And sustain.
So do you think any of the other councilors are going to combat this? I call it a motion. For me, it's a motion, right?
I don't know.
Chairman, I'm ready. I think a lot of us are ready. And I want to begin by just acknowledging the work that came before this. Folks from Black Families Together, Leon, city manager himself, the mayor, myself, and others have worked towards creating an office of diversity and inclusion, of elevating the position to a cabinet level position. That being said, it wasn't enough, Mr. Chairman. We know that when it comes to the position of Chief Diversity Officer, the categories that we're talking about pertaining to diversity are expansive. We're talking about gender, sexual orientation and identification, faith.
Oh my God! If Colorio speaks on this, it's going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah,
that's
somebody.
I wonder if any of the other counselors, and when I say other, I mean other.
I know who you're talking about when you say that. I know who you're talking about.
I'm gonna speak on this.
And manage discomfort within organizations.
Mo Bergman's gonna say something about the Nazis.
Personally,
it's not gonna make any sense.
Collectively, I think Stephanie Williams embodied the professional.
Kate Toomey's going to give us a revisionist history lesson on the time Dr. King came to speak in Worcester.
Yeah.
However, reading
all right. Let's start the pool right now. Do the words Rosa Parks come out of Kate Toomey's mouth at all?
Doing that
in this discussion
in the city of Worcester.
1-to-1 bet.
I'm giving it a 50% chance that Kate Toomey spends her time talking about Rosa Parks.
She talked about.
I hope not.
Oh, me too. But I just know in my bones.
You might as well talk about Harriet Tubman.
Yeah, right.
Mr. Chairman,
you know, I read up on my history in the Underground Railroad.
Someone sent me an article about Harriet Tubman.
Yeah, it said the Underground Railroad used to go through the catacombs.
And progress.
So here in Worcester, we've been good on race for a long time. We had the Underground Railroad here.
Racism, systemic institutional.
That's exactly what she's going to say.
Oh my gosh, I hope not.
And I think what we heard tonight is
I always hear people like kind of talking about like in small towns in Massachusetts and throughout New England about like, oh yeah, well the Underground Railroad came through here. It's like, yeah, you notice how it didn't stop here though?
Yeah, right.
Just kept going, just passed through.
Yeah, they're continuing on to Canada.
The Venn diagram.
I believe at one point though, Worcester was a sundown town.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
We know there's going to be high profile.
100%.
I don't think it's changed.
Leicester still is.
I don't think it's changed.
And I just
some aspects. You're a little safe, but you know.
I just want to ask you.
Maybe we can just remember right now that the literal Ku Klux Klan had a literal parade in Worcester in the 1980s.
Absolutely.
That is not very long ago.
To sustain this.
No.
Institutionally.
You know, but
how are we going to be able
a parade?
Systemic, because those people who marched in that rally and stuff like that, they helped
a few bad apples.
Yeah. A few bad apples had a parade that they closed down city streets for here in Worcester.
Mr. Chairman, to the council, I'm very much in favor of the spirit of the order, which is to invite outside folks to come in and take a look at.
That's so good.
What has happened? What are the barriers?
Can I use that Photoshop for my article on this?
I'm like, is he humbling himself?
Excellent.
Yeah, Travis, can you turn him up a little bit?
To remove those barriers and those structural impediments to this work. And I would say that we did this similarly with the fire department, where we invited outside consultants to come in. We told them we wanted an unvarnished look at what some of the challenges in the fire department were. We got that. And we have vigorously worked to implement the recommendations and the changes that were identified in that report.
No, don't send it to Jack. Jack,
I'm very much committed. I know my administration is very much committed. Council, the community are committed to having this be successful. And I welcome, a review and to get the unvarnished recommendations from an outside set of eyes and experiences to give us some recommendations to move forward.
I would love to have some more recommendations to ignore.
I'm closing in on my time, Mr. Chairman.
Buy me some time.
I appreciate that response and recommitment. And I think that one of the things I heard today from the community is that this body, this council, needs to be committed. I know we recommitted back in February to the idea of being actively engaged in equitable work via the resolution during Black History Month. And I think that take this as an example of that. It was a pleasure.
Oh, Christian, we didn't know you were going to hold us to that.
Councilor Nguyen.
I need to see that in the contract.
I think one of the things that I've been looking for over the years was ensuring that there was diversity in the city manager's cabinet. And, this gives that a bit of a hit. I look forward to rolling up our sleeves and getting this done right. But we can't have this happen again. I know that the research I've done shows that nationally there is a high turnover rate with diversity and inclusion professionals.
Bill,
but that average is around 3 years.
Didn't a KKK rally get broken up somewhere in the 20s here in Worcester, though?
This is a changing city.
It was actually one of the biggest KK rallies, but that was the new Klan. They were mostly concerned about Catholics at the time. No, it was. I mean, it's weird bit of Worcester history, but it was so like the KKK was mostly bolstered at the time by the Swedish population, who looked down upon Irish and Italian Catholics. And Worcester had a huge Swedish population that was primarily the workers that came here to work up at a Norton Company. They tried to have a rally at Mechanics Hall, and the Catholic Church kind of organized, and they started a riot, beat the shit out of them, ran them out of town.
That's so sick.
There's one old
last cool thing the Catholic Church ever did.
It's weird. I mean, it's just a weird time. Yeah, I mean, there's the news stories from the time are hilarious because someone actually tried to shoot a plane that someone was fleeing in, but with a handgun.
Some like Grand Theft Auto shit.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Back when we wore onions on our belts.
And I'm committed.
What is Petty saying?
I've been committed. The manager's committed. He's been committed in his entire career as a city manager when it comes to this issue here in the city of Worcester. And I have that piece of paper.
Wow. Joanna rolled her eyes so hard at the mayor that she rolled entirely off the stream. That's crazy.
Talking to someone, it's everyone's issue. Diversity, inclusion, and equity. Everyone's issue, everyone's work. Like I think one of the speakers talked about tonight, that this is everybody's work here in the city government and in the community. And again, I'm committed to the work. Obviously, people are leaving. 3 people left in 6 years. Something we definitely need to look at, and that's what the audit tries to address. Try to make sure that how do we address and fix this in the future. And I think my research shows even nationally, it's probably almost close to under 2 years. The diversity officer is kept.
I'd love to see
That's
the
not
research
fair.
process.
I think all of their talk is BS.
It's not an easy position. And
Yeah.
when,
I don't believe any of it.
They're all going to latch onto this idea. It's like, well, everybody leaves this job.
Yeah, right. That's what obviously
Don't
what they're
fucking
doing.
matter.
Yeah.
Which is probably true, but like for the same reasons, like nobody takes it seriously.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
But those reasons are our resposability.
Yeah, it doesn't
Here.
absolve us from fixing it.
I think the issue is serious that we need to. I'm going to ask them. I'm going to meet maybe some of the councils with the different groups. It would be Leon, the advisory committee who's here tonight, and just talk.
Shout out Mo Bergen.
Privately.
Hey, getting us closer to seeing that video.
I think that's important that we just listen, look for some advice.
Jackie sweating yet?
And,
how many do we need?
Understand what the issues are.
Yes, he was texting me, asking me not to show
take
it.
some action. That's why I'm
That's how you
Travis,
know
I really
it's good.
appreciate you betraying his trust like that. That's good.
And,
That's good content for the stream.
And sometimes in discussing,
Well, we're gonna show a video of Jack Murray
no question in my mind.
at the open mic at Nick's last night.
Integrity is the most important thing in his life.
Yeah,
Where he said he doesn't mind being the butt of the joke.
Oh, well then,
we'll find out.
Very precise on this, that we weigh out a path on how we're going to do this, and we bring the report back. And as was said to me today, in the absence of some information, sometimes rumors get started. How do you address that? So being transparent is very important in this whole process.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
Equity audit.
Oh, fuck. Rumors get started? It's not a rumor that we can't hang on to. Like, Stephanie Williams' statement was not a rumor.
Your goal is to bring that.
What are you talking about?
Exactly, yeah.
Bring that to the city council.
Uh-oh. Look who's here.
Hi, I'm Jack Murray's uncle.
Wow, hey, you got name dropped a lot last night.
Did I? I told him to keep my name out of his mouth.
An underwhelming comedy show that he was nice about. Interesting, Jack. That is a very interesting way to describe what happened last night. For somebody that doesn't want that video to come out, very interesting to insult our comedy show.
I think that comment right there merits its release.
Yeah, we'll see.
We go through a process.
Did anybody else get like an invite from Mayor Petty for his fundraiser?
Officer.
No.
Yeah, everybody but me and Bill.
Yeah, no. He doesn't have any money.
Nanny, and they invite me to everything, and they forget that.
What are we on Facebook now? It's like a Facebook Messenger invite.
Support Council Nguyen.
Babies don't need money.
Consultant. This is a very important, high-profile position. And I think
What are we talking about?
Entity
Chief Diversity
help
Officer.
us recruit for the next diversity officer. Is really important.
Good clawback, Jack.
Appreciate the city manager's comments about being committed to being reflective, and I think an independent party does just that. It helps us to be more reflective, having an external person come in and look under the hood for us, if you will.
Yeah, how long have people lived in Worcester? You can't pronounce
whether you're a community group, a neighbor, a business owner.
I don't know why they didn't do that from the beginning.
Concern over this vacant position.
It's also the correct way is the easiest way to pronounce it.
Absolutely. Well, they go get pho every night, and they see all their friends, Dan and Tan.
Inclusive.
I want a banh mi sandwich.
And a recent report.
They go to Day Late.
Weeks ago,
that restaurant Day Late in your class.
Oh yeah, Day Late on Pack.
And I believe people are rightfully worried about the progress we made.
Day Late, that's one of my favorite places on Pack, right by the Taco Bell and the fire station.
The most diverse city council in the city's history. We have the most diverse school committee in our city history. Last week, I had the privilege of taking part in an economic development meeting where there were three.
I need someone with some pizzazz or something, some fizzle.
For the first time in our history.
They're so dreary.
We've got a lot of momentum going.
Like
everyone
it's
else,
7:03 and you're talking like you're reading a bedtime story.
Everything I say is very serious and should be taken very seriously. And this is the most important job in the world I have.
A transition plan.
Let's do a stand-up class for city councilors.
You know what it is, though? There is no inflection in the voice of the tone. It's just monotone.
For real.
Some passion.
Yeah, Brian, should we start doing Toastmasters?
Signatures, the city manager's equity cabinet. We have the DEI.
There's something to do that. Like we call it something else, but you Casey hoodwinked the city for a little bit, didn't you?
We have
Did you do some grant where you taught improv or some bullshit?
We have our SLO.
What are you talking about?
We have three.
No, it was like 10 years ago now. Maybe it was just Casey.
Health and Human Services.
He did. I forget.
Derek Ring was a part of it.
with the diversity.
There was a thing. There was an
It was like
improv
figuring
thing.
out. It was like figuring out new bus routes or something. And
in addition to
part of it, Casey got paid like $200 a Sunday to like do icebreaker games as improv games.
Oh yeah, what was I forget what that was? That was crazy. We got it. We should do. Yeah, we should run that scam back.
Let's get back on that scheme.
I don't want Brendan's joke to go underappreciated, but Roast Masters is a great name.
Recently lost Dory Vecchio.
That's the thing, though.
People did make South
It's already a thing.
We had to deal with COVID.
So is Toastmaster.
We had a hiring
Well, I knew Toastmasters was. I am a Toastmaster.
There's shows. I like this actually.
Of ensuring that they
this is a great idea.
Negative for COVID.
Yes, that is a really good idea.
I would love to see promos cut before the city council meeting on Monday.
Yeah. We'll have Beyond Wrestling send some wrestlers over.
I want entrances. Get whips and curls to teach Sarai how to come into a room.
And finally, I
want somebody just to run in there with a bullhorn one time and run out.
That'd be awesome.
Jack, if you do that, we won't put out the video.
Appreciate your diversity, equity, and inclusion in the city and making us.
Hey Jack,
wake them up.
You know who also has the video?
I also appreciate
this
the
guy.
outpouring of concern.
And I'm not playing by their rules. You get a whole different metric of what
All of
decides
the
whether that
efforts,
goes
all
out.
the things that I just referenced that we have on the table and in the pipeline, that there are people so
Who is city council HR? There's a whole HR department for City Hall.
continuing to move this.
Two was just talking about how they misgendered them.
Yeah, apparently someone from HR went to meet with two and said, it's so great to have more women in these positions. Like Brendan said, you got one fucking job. You know,
that was a person with a whole master's degree and everything.
Yeah, you don't work for the DPW. You know, you're not out there plowing roads. You're supposed to know this shit.
Yeah. Literally a historic election.
Yeah.
Here's a tell.
Not wanting to repeat what other people have said here, but let me just start by thanking the members in the audience for the work that you've done and all the groups that have come together and spoken, and certainly Councilman and Councilor King for putting together.
Well, this is a city council fit,
order.
so
I remember years back,
I like it.
maybe
Yeah, it's a really cool shirt.
Years back when
Patel is a
race
dynamic
dialogues
speaker.
in the city. And we split up in groups.
Very dynamic witch as well.
Because her eyes are so intense.
We wanted the city to move forward.
Yeah,
in the
she's
area
gonna
of
kill
equity
Ed
and
Augustus
racial
someday. I
justice.
love it.
And I don't necessarily think.
Is it ironic that Ed Augustus rhymes with racial injustice?
Sean, save it for tomorrow night.
But I do think that
I was testing the water on that one. I wasn't sure if it was going to be funny enough.
In conversations that I've had with the city
manager,
HR
is a
recent days,
scam.
more recently in the Diversity and Inclusion Committee, I said that the work of racial justice doesn't begin or end with a chief diversity
Oh no,
officer.
Jack! Don't.
Clearly, the executive orders that the city manager put forward put us in a good direction.
Unfortunately for you, it's Jess.
To look back at those race dialogues, to look at the frustrations that community members have brought forward. To also
you can
look
file a
beyond
grievance if you want, Jack.
what the role and structure of this
Yeah, file it with HR.
accomplished.
I didn't.
You got to Venmo $10 to @Wootenanny.
City Hall. It belongs to all of us, and I'm hoping that the opening and the opportunity that we have.
Yeah, Clementine,
whoever steps into
HR director,
the next diversity officer. Pushes the boundaries of what we want to do.
You see how it's so silent, though? You see all of like the sort of progressive, diverse candiants are talking, but no one else is talking.
Yeah, interesting, huh?
I'm waiting.
What's going on there?
In the realm of a chief diversity officer. The last thing that I want to mention is I know Assistant Manager Batista.
They're abstaining.
To carry the work forward until
they're present. Remember, present.
They're using abstinence. Maureen Benenda did speak tonight, so abstinence is probably a good.
We should be ready
And Miss Maureen?
It would be great to
Yeah.
have a consistent progress forward.
Yeah, but she didn't talk about this.
Barriers or potential obstacles and progress that
very
people
important playground.
encounter in the workout. Thank you.
Thank you.
What did Maureen have to say? What was she talking about?
I'm sorry.
There's
just
some
narrating
weird.
Council Rivera.
She was just talking about the playground.
She was like, "We did some work on the playground. Just want everyone to know that."
this particular topic.
Please, can they rehire me, please?
Playgrounds?
I've committed for a big chunk
What would
of my
these
life
poor
to work on
students in their
equity and
little
inclusion.
crappy apartments do without me driving them to school
Just
every
feeling
day?
like there really wasn't much of an option. Seeing some of
Well, they like literally did go
the institutionalization
down the
of
line.
the HIV and
For
AIDS
real.
epidemic in the 80s, and then I'm dating myself. And then, when I came onto this council, the sense of feeling
Come on,
like that
Sarai, give me some
Sesame Street
fire
song,
behind it.
"Which one
Mean
is
it.
the other?"
Say it like you mean it, girl.
Say something coherent, girl.
There were certain days that I
Well, she's already referenced Sesame
have been very
Street, so
emotional for me. Some of you have witnessed. One is
Yenny,
how
you're
one
right.
of my
I was
very
thinking
first
she looks like
manager
she's
evaluations,
Cher.
and
She
I
looks
looked
like
up and
Cher
I
right now. I
was
think.
I looked up
That's
and
so
I
cool. Do you believe
in
love after red?
Strong Jennifer Grey energy.
Yeah, for real. I'm having the time of my life watching this.
together, and it was very impactful.
Yeah, she's got some bangs going on tonight. I see her.
And I remember having.
I wonder if she got her blue and white shoes on
that
that she posted on Facebook today.
Oh yeah, the feet pics.
A shoe influencer.
Very brave of Sarai to post feet pics on Maine. That's a risky move.
Yeah, knowing the weird, horny vitriol she gets from the Richard Cipro crowd.
Then we had another.
They're so confused.
That came on board, and he can
that's
tell you
Sarai.
that
She's such a
it's
crazy
been
liberal. I want to
priority.
put her toes in my mouth.
I feel like we another day
That'll
that
show her.
really stood out for me was the beginning of Black Lives Matter. And that when it became,
Yeah.
for some
When
people,
conservatives get horny
fashionable,
for
right? And I say that because
Democrat women,
Black
it's
lives
always
have
the best.
mattered.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
they all they're all. If it was elementary school, they'd be pushing AOC into the fence, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And being here,
Right,
when
exactly.
what? And having to stand, fearing.
In this case, they're just driving around their cruisers, blaring "Turn Back Time."
Yeah, that's such a banger. That's like one of the best songs ever written.
I love Cher. Cher is up there with Tina Turner for me.
Oh,
totally.
Hell yeah.
Speak against an item that I think really disregarded the aspect of Black Lives Matter. And Councillor
Talk about it.
Rick Rushton speaking up, which initially cost him, honestly, he stepped down, but I know what he did was sacrificial, and I really will always be appreciative of him standing up. And I didn't know that he was
Famously woke Rick Rushton.
Maine South Mom, I don't think that any of the idiots are going to talk on this. I don't think it's worth it for them. They'd have to be really, really dumb.
So Kate will speak.
Wow, that's a good Photoshop.
Good call. This comment brought to you by Crafty Kombucha.
This comment brought to you by Crafty Kombucha. The only ethical consumption.
That gives Slash vibes. The name of the jacket.
Very, very hurtful.
But like it's like a mountain or a cliff that he's soloing on, right?
Yeah.
Instead, it's just like it's just like people of Worcester that she's on top of, just like soloing over them. It's the 8th hill of Worcester.
Sarai Rivera talking at city council is very much like listening to like a jam band solo. She doesn't know where she's going. We don't know where she's going. But she's going.
It's in the alley. It's in the alley that we think we like.
Yeah, right.
I'm waiting for like Mo Bergman to say, "Well, we don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of hiring chief diversity counselors, officers, whatever. Lost in the sauce."
A Black woman that
yeah.
was
Oh yeah. Well, good thing we have him in the comments. We can get some insight from him.
Yes, I'm waiting. I want to hear.
Banned up in social media, and however.
Maine South Mom,
still standing strong.
What can you elaborate a little bit in the comments about that brutal meeting?
Right now, I want to just say that we're definitely not where we need to be, but we're not where we used to be, and I think that's what's really important. I think it was last month. I want to say it was.
Was this in the packet?
I don't think there was enough about this in the agenda package for me to vote. I'm not an expert on
week of the
and I don't think anybody on the
there
city
was a
council is an
report that was
expert on
presented here
race
by
relations.
Stephanie Williams
So
regarding,
I will be voting present.
There was a lot of things that were said that night, but I think again, I don't think
I love you too,
enough-
Bo
I
Mergman.
can't wait to make it so I can say present.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna say it.
Because you're essentially taking
Look at Sean's dead eyes staring straight ahead.
built for us. The educational
He's like,
system
I don't know if I
God.
could not look at the person next to me when they're talking.
Yeah.
It's because he doesn't want to show her his nonplussed face.
I was starting to get worried that Matt Wally's nanobots had infected Sean Rose.
LGBTQ community.
Oh,
So essentially,
knows?
we can't. A wise woman once told me, many
I think
times
he's
you wanna
struggling to
just
stay
belt
awake.
right, we wanna do
That's
She,
what his
Yenny,
problem
you're
is.
absolutely right, but it's so hard to decipher when those points
But we
come.
can't. We have to dismantle that work, and that is hard because we're challenging what essentially everybody has said. This is what we've done, and this is what we.
She is speaking much
Now we
more
have to kinda,
dynamically
like,
than
fix it. We have to take it
everyone else.
apart, and people don't like that. That's rough work.
You're
So
into
it
your
is
second
difficult.
5.
Yeah, thank you. It is difficult work, and I'm sorry, but this is so important to
No,
me.
I
And
I'm gonna say you're going into your next 5 minutes.
I don't want us to be crisis-based. Diversity work has to be something that we do all the time. We have to be actively working. If we think
Seems
we'll
like
be
she's
able to have
staring
this
at Donna
conversation with
Calorio while
our
she
city
does
manager,
this.
with the
That'd be
Like my
awesome.
curls are better than yours.
That's so good.
actively, not just when there's a crisis. Hey, how can I be helpful?
I would
What's
love
going
if that's
on?
true.
What's happening? What can we do? How can we come together?
I also
as a
love
community?
this. This is a
Because if
great.
we're
No one
not
uses this one
actively
enough.
being,
This is good.
participating on this, then we can't
It's like
just
she's
be
Caesar
reactive when
teaching
it's just
dogs.
crisis,
Like,
because where have we been then? We were going to be able to ask that, because I know for me, when people
How the
ask me
fuck
on
do you
certain
spell
things,
tercentennial?
I'm like, okay, where were you
T-U-R-D.
on this item, on this item? So I think that's important. I think it's
Do you know
great
that
to be able to have this. I think it's
the
great
reason
to
it's
have community, but
tercentennial is
again,
because tricentennial has been
work,
taken?
it's also that
Travis, did you
this
tell me
movement,
this?
I think what the mayor
Yeah.
said is not just for one person. It's not just.
I think we went over it on the stream one
not
day.
just for people in marginalized communities.
Yeah,
This is something
somebody
that
went and
all of
got
us must be
Tricentennial,
actively
Worcester
working on,
Tricentennial, and Worcester
in
300
order to do
on
this.
all social
I
media.
wanna
They're
say,
running
like I
their own
said,
celebration.
This is very difficult work, and like Councilor
That
King
one we're
mentioned,
gonna appear
that
at.
the turnaround, around rate in this
I
type
have
of work
something to
happens
admit though,
often.
guys. I
I
applied
wanna
to
just read
be
something
a vendor
that someone wrote. This is not easy work by any
Oh.
means, and I don't think people
because
understand the
I want to
challenge
sell
and
my
emotional,
Worcester
intellectual
300
labor
stickers that I
that
ordered
goes into
50
this
of
work.
yesterday.
Thank you, Mainself Mom. Thank you, Mainself
whole
Mom, by the way.
50?
I remember that meeting now. I remember that meeting.
Surface level of food and fun and fabric.
I'm going to upload my
Okay,
image
she
as soon as
lost
I
me.
find
I don't
it.
know what she's
Sometimes
talking about
offloaded
anymore.
to one
Like, it's
Yeah,
too
I've
wordy.
been lost.
This person can deal with the difficult issues. And
But it
Came
all
back for a
sounds
second.
it all sounds vaguely good.
can go
Sure.
on with doing what they do. This is heavy responsibility.
Like short,
And
sweet,
so
to the
I
point.
say
That's
this
what
as
I
someone
like.
who
I'll
actually
just
does, this type of work, DEI work, and I think all too
long-winded.
often what happens is that it's
She's
just
well
off
into
put
her
on
second
that
5
shoulder. And I
minutes.
know because many of us
She has
are
not
communities
made a
of
point
color,
yet. I don't
when
think.
we come on to this,
I just took my-
Essentially, she's saying
every
that
time there was a racial
we've made
issue,
some
we're not bringing a
progress,
person
but
of
it's still
color on,
difficult to see
it
how
was
much
like
progress we
somehow
haven't
we had to
made.
come and
That's
ask for
essentially
help.
what she
We
said.
didn't have a
Oh,
conversation
look,
about
it took you 3 sentences to say
we
that.
had a conversation about racial.
Yeah.
I remember telling one of my
Yeah,
colleagues,
she
Her thesis statement was, it reminds me of the Sesame Street song, one of these things is not like the other.
and again, not crisis based. Be active. Let's figure out how we can help. Yes,
Which really
I
speaks to
definitely
Sean
can
right
appreciate
now.
this order.
I'm vibing right now. I'm in 1985.
This is
This is
going
like
like this. She should be like tapping Sean on the shoulder. Wake up, I'm talking to you.
And I also do not want to disregard
this reminds me of
work that
the
has been
Sesame
done.
Street song, "The
Ms.
Monster in the
Williams has
Mirror,"
done
because
some
we
really
are
great work.
the problem.
I want us to be careful. She is a Black woman. I cannot speak on the staff issue, but I just want to say, and I cannot speak for her.
Did she say not
She's
being or being a Black woman?
has a voice.
No, she's talking about
And I don't think that she's
the former chief
from what I have
diversity
worked
officer.
with her, for what I've seen, that she's a person that if there was something completely wrong, that she would not activate her voice.
Oh yeah,
that
Kathy
she would
Roy
be
responds to
fearful.
my
She
newsletter
is an
like
educated,
posts all the
strong
time,
Black
just being
woman.
like, "You fucking liberal."
She stands, and it's not only what she does, what she knows based on her experience.
I don't mean to talk over
as a Black
Sarai,
woman,
but this is
she
my
has the
Oh,
Worcester
please do.
300.
behind her, the education
Nice.
behind
I like
her.
Look at that.
It's beautiful. When you hear her speak,
50 of them
She knows
coming.
what she's doing. So I want to urge our community
I'll buy
to make
49
sure
of them.
that we are not doing
Sold.
unintentional consequences where we will take away her voice. She has
Oh,
her
we
voice.
lost her.
Let's include her in these
I think
conversations.
she's on her phone.
And
I think
know
she
and I
if
trust
she
that
gets a
as
phone
she
call, it kicks her
leaves,
off.
and I wish her well. And let me tell you,
We got to suit her
someone
up with
like
some
her,
sort of
I'm glad
setup.
we were able to keep her for 2
Yeah,
years because I'm sure
'cause
she's
she's gonna
being
come
coached
back.
by a whole
I hope.
bunch of
Yeah,
people.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
No
But I
worries.
know that
I pressed the wrong
hopefully
button.
we can continue and say what is something. I hope that in this council we can reach out to say, how can we be helpful to the administration to continue the good work that you have done?
Oh, please, Sarai. Fuck off.
And I will close with this because I think it's really
Come on.
They always do that though. They say some crazy on point stuff, and then they say, "But how can we kiss the administration's butt?"
Yeah, come on. This is the
Everyone's
administration's
afraid-
problem. Put some real
Everyone's afraid
pressure
to
on.
face each other afterwards.
A month ago now.
Yeah.
When she put
How am I
Those
supposed to eat
those buckets
chicken
get pretty
nuggets at the
awkward
board
when you're
meeting?
talking shit.
Mozzarella sticks fix everything.
I appreciate us coming together.
God, that's so annoying that she just did that after talking for like literally 10 minutes about how there's a problem in the city. In like the super obtuse way, she goes, "We need to support the city administration as they try very hard to figure these things out." Like, no, they're fucking not trying. That's the whole point here.
We have Councilor Rivera, then we have Councilor
Jesus fucking Christ.
Walk in the room too.
What a disappointment. Like,
You have to
I
cuff the snakes, hold them up tight, and pucker.
Jade is very sad.
I love you're in your fourth, fifth. I knew Kate was going to talk. Did I call that? I said Kate's the only one who's going to talk.
As the
Oh, we need to
manager
hear
and
this. We
as
need to be
mayor
dead
and
silent
my
for that.
colleagues have all said, we need to move forward in making sure that we have a diverse city workforce, that we have understanding of the issues involved with diversity.
Northern Irish, Western
throughout our
Irish,
community,
Eastern Irish.
and engagement.
Very
and
diverse.
transparency. And I think that she had started to do some really great things. We actually had a brief conversation, and she told me that she had a very good conversation with the manager and that she was going to be leaving a report with recommendations. This is a difficult thing to talk about as well, because we have to understand that this is a personnel issue. So there are some things that we aren't privy or cannot be privy to.
This is like what happens in my house stays in my house.
He's leaving.
But what if punch you in your eye? You're gonna take it. You're not gonna go to school and tell anybody to punch you in your eye.
Yeah.
And I believe the manager when he
Oh,
says
this
that he
legitimately makes them
welcomes,
nervous though, because if they
working with
start, if
people to
she's
make
not
sure
wrong
that,
in the sense that like this
we
is
don't
how we
have
shut
this
down
turn
any
over
conversation
again.
about understanding how the inner workings of the police department
brings to
function.
mind,
We just
that
throw up the "it's a personnel matter" banner,
now-
and
now that this is
nobody's
not
allowed to ask
normal.
any questions.
Yeah, right.
When we look back,
That's what the
we've
law
had
department
3
tried to do.
Directors of
Mhm.
Human Services in 6 years, 3 emergency communication directors in 6 years, and 4 library directors in 5 years. And so we also need to talk about how do we create expectations of people that we hire? How are we enabling them to traverse the organizations? Being a change agent in an organization such as government, one learns that there are many moving pieces that don't easily mesh together. When a large ship needs to turn, it can't turn like a speedboat can. We're made up of different departments and unions.
My
and
yacht takes
contracts
forever
that
to turn.
Kind of put blocks before all of the work that you need to do.
Get to the point,
I
Katie.
hear the concerns in the community, and I would like to add. And
It
I
looks like
appreciate my
this looks like
colleagues
what
with
that
your orders,
that
but I'd
rock
also like to add,
with
say,
the
let's
with
have
the
a
fanny
broad
pack
view also
meme
of,
picture.
the expectations.
That's the
of
necklace.
How we're communicating to our future department heads. And,
So in
and how do we
conclusion, I
support
think
them
we
as
as a
well?
city
So
need to
if
buy
we
a
could
boat.
take a broader
Thank you.
look
Yeah.
at that as well as this issue, that would be really helpful, I think, moving forward for all of us. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You didn't say anything bad.
Well,
No, but she did say like these things take time. Nobody
Yeah.
get too crazy.
Yeah.
Lady,
she
you gotta
also
fucking- you gotta fucking
ignored the
flag.
elephant in the room.
That's a personnel matter.
Oh my
And,
God.
we all know our form of planning government that sometimes I speak out against on a regular basis. It has specific restrictions, but the way this article is written, it's asking for a report, it's making a suggestion, it's asking for feedback. And I believe it to be okay. I know
Wow.
I'm saying that because I've had those conversations with people.
Come on, Georgie, give it to me.
But the bottom line is that as I support the spirit of this item too, I congratulate my colleague for bringing it forward, my colleagues. I think that what we need to do, though, is to not only stop at this position, but we need to have this outside consultant or this report and this information, if you will, as this report comes back to us from the administration, should include not only this position, but it should consider the interaction of the persons that have had this position, not only the current occupant or soon to be former occupant, but the previous occupants of that position and their interaction with the various
all jobs matter.
The various different unions. What are the stumbling blocks? What are the roadblocks that this position?
I already see where they're going. Kate set the groundwork.
Oh yeah. We need to broaden this away from any talk about racism.
This isn't a racism problem. This is a bigger issue. Yeah.
This is an HR problem.
This is such a big issue that we shouldn't even see that it's a racism problem.
Do we really want to invest in another chief diversity officer if they're just going to quit on us? I mean, come on, we should just get rid of the position altogether.
You know that's where it's going, right?
Yeah.
Fill in until a new person is selected. I think it's a good idea.
His last name is Bautista. He's kind of, he's diverse.
On various different issues across the city. And to be honest with you, I think I'm just suggesting this, Mr. Chairman, because I know this is a personnel matter too, so I could just put it in the suggestion box.
Personnel matter.
But I think that the new person coming forward, when a new diversity officer is hired, should be right in the city manager's office. That person should be physically sitting in the city manager's office.
Fuck off.
In his seat next to him.
I don't think the new
spraying him with a water bottle
should have their own office.
Other folks in city government and in the community coming into this building and communicating with that person, if they have to realize that the full
George Russell has absolutely no idea what a chief diversity officer does.
Of this
no. You can tell just by what he's saying.
Yeah,
no clue.
I think that he should. That this person should talk to every single person in the city about whether they're racist or not.
I think that's a big plus. I think that's what we tried.
We should do a poll. Are you racist?
Council and his administration by elevating that to that.
Every police officer said they weren't, so I believe them.
Yeah.
Listen, the chief of police—that's the head policeman. He would know.
Elevated to that point, and I think that the good work that the assistant city manager will do in the meantime, I'm sure we'll get that.
Stephanie said in her statement she left to where she can go where her talents are going to be useful, because obviously what she was doing had nothing to do with diversity. But I said that before.
Yeah, that's the real elephant in the room that no one's talking about here, is that she's obviously set up to fail.
I don't think.
Come on, Candy, say something awesome.
Most of us didn't see that coming. She was somebody.
She's gonna act like she's fired up.
Respected. She was somebody who we all
George essentially said, "We got two birds, one stone," which is essentially what he says when with Kate and Candy. They're just two birds.
That work is
same vote.
We're gonna get two birds stoned at once. We're gonna ignore racism and how little we pay our other department heads.
Tough. The job itself.
They're turning this into a eulogy for Stephanie.
One person.
It's very funny.
The job and carrying the load of the entire city.
She's dead. She's dead to them. That's why.
I do want to say. Back a couple of years ago when our city manager, and he made this his commitment to the city. He was the guy who made the commitment and brought it to us.
God, get your lips on.
Didn't follow through on his commitment. Stop giving praise. He did not follow through, honey.
So what you're saying is the city manager is full of shit. Okay.
I know that for myself personally. The city manager brought several items forward that we had given him that we thought that we needed to do in order to move the city forward. A lot of those.
What? We're still where we were.
I don't know if it's 3 weeks ago or a month ago. And we talked about a lot of the accomplishments. Is there a lot of work to do? You betcha there's a lot of work to do.
And I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. And someone should do it.
These positions do turn over because these folks are in demand and they're in high demand. So that's our challenge. How do we keep these folks?
No. That's not what it is.
I just
got to keep these
That's
folks.
what
Keep them.
she's brilliant.
You gotta lock them up. I wish there was a way we could keep them here against their will.
I'm on board with,
I think it'd be great if we could find a way to keep these people here, maybe against their will, maybe have them work for free. That's we should pursue that avenue.
And we're just going to keep them in a hostile work environment. Why not? They'll love it.
Throughout the city and the city departments, what is happening. And certainly, I'm not somebody who wants to take Stephanie's voice away from her. She's somebody who certainly has a voice of her own, and somebody who's a professional woman in this city and who is very well respected. I don't think any one of them.
Is she talking about who? Who's she not talking about herself?
Talking about Stephanie Williams.
I don't believe that we could. She wouldn't be in the position she's in if somebody was going to take her voice. And for those of us who have lived in a man's world our entire life.
Oh God! Now here she goes with the sexist talk.
Man's world my entire life. So I know what it's like to make sure.
Did she not watch Jane Campion?
I don't want to do that
the other
to
night,
Stephanie, and I don't believe that
the city
wants to take Stephanie's voice.
I can't believe she's saying this stuff.
I know what it's like. Oh my
God! The recommendations and what the manager has already brought forward, and those.
I know what it's like.
That we said that we wanted done. I believe we should continue.
I know what it's like,
forward.
she says.
I
know what it's like, says Katie Merrill Carlson.
To live in a man's world. That's where she's at.
That's the problem.
Oh my fucking God.
So again, the one
you just can't make this shit up.
And one of my
she should just stop talking when she's dead.
I know what it's like, she says.
Listen, I don't want to take Stephanie's voice away. I'm doing that, but I don't want to.
Because
I know what it's like. I've been galvanized in a man's world.
So this
all of my life. I have struggled.
You know how hard it is to be a woman working in this city and the circles I run in with my husband being the head of the AFL-CIO's local chapter.
You know how hard it is to be incredibly politically powerful only because of my husband?
It's a man's world.
Needs to be at the table, including obviously the community.
To quote the great Aretha Franklin, take out PCT.
But I think that the entire council.
I can't believe she just said all that.
Agenda.
Yeah, right.
And moving our city forward in the right direction with the next diversity inclusion position for the city of Worcester. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Boo. She's done.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of comments.
And listen, it's not just because she was my opponent and she tried to play dirty. It's not that. I think she just has no clue. She's so out of touch.
Regarding
what's Christian have to say?
Positions and their retention history. We're here tonight to talk about the Chief Diversity Officer position.
That's right.
To compare that to these other positions is a false equivalence for me.
Right.
That being said, I also wanted to say that, echoing my colleague, what she was talking about here, I do agree that we as a council have a responsibility. We've heard tonight what expectations are for the city, for the administration, for the mayor, for staff, from our community and our committees. But they're right. We have a role as well as a council. We have responsibility and oversight, Mr. Chairman, for the city manager, for departments.
They need lapel mics
that are assigned to our subcommittees.
Labs, baby.
Boards and
bring announcer mics
that we have engagement with that are assigned to us based on our subcommittees. And what I challenge myself and my colleagues to do is exactly that, Mr. Chairman. And our roles in committee. And
yeah, but that upward look is tough looking. It kind of is like a power stance.
And I think that the next, well, all of
I
our
wonder
city
how it is for
employees,
short folks like me.
need
I
to
just stand up
have,
and I'll be eye to eye with everybody.
the freedom, the ability, the comfortability of knowing that
there's some
they
fun
can be as
banter
transparent as
happening
we
on
need
the
to be to
Facebook
move
feed.
the city forward. And
Oh yeah.
I'm sure it's all very positive.
think about
Yeah, it's Kathy Roy
what we
is
can do as a
single-handedly
city,
saying that the city isn't
what we can do
racist.
as a council,
Oh, good.
Because
elected,
she's seen some Asians and
Chairman.
Hispanics.
It's not just about addressing symbols.
And
It's
how are
about
they
how
reacting to you
systemic
She's seen them
when you saw them?
inequality
They're
manifests,
there.
institutional racism manifests. But we need to actively identify what this is really about. It's not about individuals as was stated.
We have one of the most diverse racist cities you will ever see.
Can that be your campaign slogan next time?
Somebody clip that.
Shirt.
Yeah, somebody clip that. Holy shit.
That's a t-shirt.
Yeah.
We have one of the most diverse racist cities you've ever seen.
Jess Waltz, are you watching? Make a new t-shirt.
As a city, we're moving in the right direction. We've come a long way. From colleagues telling me that any issue pertaining to race is uncomfortable for them and their constituents, to a place now. We're just in February. We're recommitting to equity. So I really hope that
All right, let's go, Christian.
challenge ourselves.
Yeah.
In addition to expecting a chief diversity officer, a city manager, a mayor, to carry the weight, we have a responsibility to, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Toomey, for a second time.
Yeah, she's speaking again.
Mr. Chair, I just want to
Where's
make sure that
Colorio?
it's clear that I was
wasn't
not
racist enough the first time.
comparing those other positions that.
Yes, the fuck you were.
Over to this and saying and minimizing this.
She made a
particular issue.
comparison.
What I was
Candy
saying
made a
was that
comparison to
retention
Man's World.
seems to be something that we need to work on, and I certainly
They all
absolutely
are
support.
comparing.
Making
That's
sure
literally what
that
she's
we
saying. Don't you
address
dare
the
call me
issues
racist.
of
Yeah.
institutional racism,
I've read
and
articles.
that we address the issues that are barriers within our own organization.
Guys, I can't be
There's no question,
racist.
and that
I'm
is
wearing
separate. And I said,
black.
if we could add this as another part, it would be helpful for all.
In a way, I'm
So
one of the
I wanna
blackest
make that
people in
very
this room.
clear, about that. So thank you.
I made sure to wear my gold chain with it too. That's what they wear, right?
Yeah, because the gold sets it right off.
The discussion tonight, I appreciate the order, and I did want to just rise to.
Oh, he's talking again?
How appreciative I am to have had the opportunity to work with Stephanie over this year plus. She is a very talented.
She's in heaven now. We all miss her.
They actually did talk like she's dead.
I had to eat her because she had to go.
Left in her wake substantial accomplishments. She has moved the ball down the field.
She has the sweetest meat, and that's why we ate her first.
Dismantling structural and institutional racism, raising awareness, and moving some of the agenda items. That
If you, okay, my simple breakdown from this whole thing, there still is no explanation.
Acknowledge that and not
Yeah.
have
Zero.
to think, while we're all disappointed.
Well, you see, Joanna, it's a personnel issue, so we're just gonna leave it at that.
And we're going to be in a better position for the new person.
I wonder if the personnel who are asking for the exit interviews and the information will be able to receive it because it's an in-house, right? It's personnel.
Just mentioned, we need to always be.
No, we'll make life uncomfortable for them too, so they all quit as well.
His spin right now is that everyone has moved the ball down the field a little bit, and we appreciate them for that. And we're going to get further with the next one. So he's just happy that he's had a bunch of pinch hitters.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Systems have been built up over 300 years, and it's going to take more than just Stephanie Williams or Ed Augustus.
It's not my fault.
To dismantle
Ooh, he is getting a little angry.
Everyone chill for a minute. I want to hear all
We're
this.
going to have false
Travis,
starts,
can you turn
and
up a
we're
little?
going to have frustrations, and we're going to have failures, and we're going to have disappointments, but we have to be committed to it. That's why I'm proud of, in the 300-year history of the city, I'm the first person to sign an executive order acknowledging the reality of it and committing ourselves as a city government to dismantling, because that's important work. And I would just leave with this. We all have to be open. I am completely open, because if we're going to actually get this done, we can't come at this work like we know it all. We know all the answers. I have learned every single day I've been in this job. And as soon as we stop learning, and as soon as we stop, being open to understanding and appreciating things that we may not have been exposed to or understood before, then we're not going to be able to do our job.
Oh my God, what a
who is his target audience with this speech?
Once said,
scaring the city councilors.
Yes. Yeah. This is Ed's superpower, right? It's like he doesn't stay on script. He rewrites the script in real time to make sure you know exactly what you're going to be thinking.
Remember this council.
Matt, this is a long-standing theory of mine that whenever he's got his left hand on his belt, he's lying.
Eric Batista, who I think has done a great job helping us with the SRO issue and kind of moving that forward.
The framing of we should celebrate Ed for being the first city manager to appoint a chief diversity officer is fucking wild. It's like I am the first one who hasn't been openly racist, right?
But I told you he was going to bring up his executive order, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he was going to talk that. But you didn't really do anything that was in that executive order except for remove SROs from school.
You failed yourself, sir.
Some of the structural disconnects.
I'm just saying, you did nothing.
Decentralized hiring throughout the city of Worcester. We have different departments that do different kinds of hiring. That makes it difficult to change those hiring practices, which
it's
are really
just so hard to end systemic racism in our city and create diversity and inclusion.
The Human Resources Office, in order to pull that back,
we don't know how. Just say we don't know how.
In place in order to be better aligned and better prepared to do this.
Yeah,
work.
I don't want to agree with Jack.
I am listening
I hate
intently
to.
with Stephanie before she leaves, as well as others, to figure out ways that while we're assessing this position, we're also, taking advantage of vehicles like the budget to put in place things that
C-level executive
in the future, and not wait a whole nother year for another budget cycle or other opportunities to put building blocks in place. So I am certainly committed to that, and I appreciate the feedback and the conversation from the council.
But don't you ever give me feedback again, you sons of bitches.
As amended, we'll send that to the city manager.
Keep their 2 cents in their pocket.
So ordered. We're going back to the orders. The first one is 10A.
All right, nothing else matters. That was fucking. That was just about
it. Said exactly what I thought he was going to say and do.
Yeah, that that is really worth breaking down. Is like you can't just take credit for.
So I went back to 10A.
Signing an executive order that you were pressured into signing by the community, and then
inspectional services.
That's it, right?
With a report.
Oh, racism over. I signed an order. No, it's obviously been like not working, and he didn't really acknowledge that at all. Just the only way he acknowledged that was by saying, it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. And not everybody's perfect, and not everything we do is going to work. And
even I am not perfect. That's how he was approaching it. It's like, even me, the best thing that's ever happened to the city ever.
Yeah.
People live in the neighborhood. They're just looking for some insight into what's going on.
Yeah. No, Mo didn't speak either.
Inspection.
Mo didn't speak. Donna Clara didn't speak because what are they going to say? Let's be real here.
Feedback from the city solicitor.
Nah, they could. There's nothing they could add that would have been productive.
Mo could bring up Nazis again. He likes doing that.
Yeah. I don't think we should be having a chief diversity officer because the night of the long knives or whatever.
Well, no, they don't think that they need a chief diversity officer because they don't believe that there's racism here.
Right. I mean, that's
racism. There's no racism.
End of story. You're right. That's just it.
It's not about necessarily the location, but the fact that there were concerns regarding people that work in this field, work in public health and in human services, and work in doing recovery work, that are very concerned with the fact that people were being taken advantage of. And so that
is this the Last Supper? What is that?
Was not something that was
Jack and all of his cousins.
Hurtful.
That's great. Hi, Jack and his cousins.
Yeah. Hey, Jack, how many of those cousins follow our fucking Instagram, pal? Get on it. We need more eyes on the product, baby. We need a young demo.
Oh my God.
Stand up for this community.
Let's get those cousins working, baby. Time is money, so we're cousins.
Sell some T-shirts.
I love my Jack. Jack is that guy.
He's a person to watch. He's a person to watch.
Unless he's doing stand-up, then he's not a person to watch.
Yeah.
City manager requests Commissioner of Public Works and Parks include in said
Person to watch in general, not in the context of stand-up comedy.
Location in the future.
Sorry, Jack. No, I'm actually not.
Chairman,
You know what I mean.
this came out of a lot of conversations I had over the
Well, is
summer,
it jacket?
when we experienced a lot of flooding with
chilly.
the residents over on Main
So,
Street.
just to backtrack here, after hearing that conversation, is anyone under the illusion that anything is going to change or happen with this at all?
Absolutely not. 0% chances.
I don't think so.
I think that you'd be very silly to come away from that conversation and think that there's going to be any real navel gazing here, any substantive evaluation of that position, what its intent was, what it's achieving right now. I think you'd be insane to think that. I mean, just Ed Augustus.
That's been the big.
I think this is a comment being like, I deserve praise for being the first city manager in the 300-year city of Worcester to sign an order to create this position. It's absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah, I signed the order. I shouldn't be expected to, deliver on it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I gave you a paper tiger to make you feel good and go away.
I brought the ball here. Somebody else needs to bring the ball farther.
Yeah, I'm going to be working in Lowell, so...
I mean, just think about the timeline, right? Like, the only thing that could come of this would be actually hiring an outside firm to audit. So you've got like a year of putting that out to bid, finding the right people, and then you've got the actual audit, and then you've got a review period. So you're probably like 3 years out before you even have to hear this conversation again.
So what is good black and brown people to work for the city? I just need a breakdown of that notion. When you say good, this is for Main South Mom. Only because, I mean, does that mean college educated, homeowner, go to church every Sunday? I mean,
yeah, it's
What does that
wild
mean?
that it's wild that there are this many people on city council that legitimately think that that's one, okay to think, two, okay to say.
Right.
It's fucking crazy. It's a crazy
renovations to the fields.
yeah, I like when I hear them, I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like, I need the breakdown.
That's what you call a dog whistle.
The potential of long-term structural additions, such as the press box and other administrative offices and other structural additions, makes a lot of sense to me. So I look forward to getting some insights into here. I think that our coaches and student athletes deserve.
Which is like one of those things that dichotomy of like anyone that's like
to be able to build upon.
Anyone that's willing to stay is not actually good at the job. So
yeah, right.
You have to be, you'd have to be crazy to stay in the job. And if you're like,
high schools in this field is for everybody in.
But I think they'd be content with that cycle.
Try to figure this out.
Yeah, if no one called them on it. Yeah,
they can just
say you have it.
They can vacillate between saying like, "Oh, it's really hard to hire somebody that's qualified for this position," and then when somebody leaves, they can say, "Well, they're so qualified that everyone else wants to give them jobs." Like they can, and they'll just say that despite the fact that it's not even fucking true.
And Two's comment was the best, talking about how it's not about a person. It's not about Stephanie Williams. It's about the structure of this job, setting people up to feel like they're fucking worthless, and that they're there to just be able to make the city manager feel comfy, like that he's like doing something, right? But like structurally, they can't do anything. I'm so excited. I requested for 6 months of her emails. Any email to and from Stephanie Williams in the past 6 months, and I am really excited to see what's in it.
Maybe even the marijuana dispensary.
Might get some good stuff.
It's gonna be juicy. I guarantee it.
I think there's so many unanswered questions with this. It's like definitely deserves to be considered like one of the more serious problems in Worcester right now, because it just does such a good job of exposing like the sort of like centrist Democrat brain of like, how dare you expect us to actually do something
on
this issue and not just pay lip service to it. Yeah, it's like
because what's happened.
Is she eating? Oh, okay.
That most of these places have an entertainment license, and what we
It looked like she was chewing for a minute, and she had like food in her hand.
most people know.
I got a meatball sub before I came. I got a little bit of red.
For example, entertainment is a TV, but if they get an entertainment license, it could be TV, but it could also be a 3-piece band. So that's why.
Okay, we'll amend that.
That's why I'm asking if that works for you.
Hey, why do you care about this candy? The only good bar in Worcester is closing. So.
Request that the city manager consider developing a Purple Heart monument in the city. I probably should get down this week.
Oh, did anyone hear that I'm running for Senate?
Yeah.
You should get him a placard necklace, chain, or whatever.
That was 100%.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm gonna be doing some layups for a while.
I'm
looking for a nice easy win. Little symbolic gesture.
The Korean War Memorial. And after me for a year. I talked to the manager several months ago about it. And
I don't know if I like Petty or not. I don't know if I like him or not. I have yet to make up my mind.
About what, Petty?
Yeah, if I like him or not, I don't really know.
Yeah, it can go either way. I mean, he's a nice enough guy, but
I've never had a conversation with him.
He's a nice enough guy.
He's a very nice man.
Yeah.
Super nice. Yeah.
He's just not doesn't have my politics.
No, I think that's the thing, and I think that sometimes people get confused in Worcester, especially this group of people that have been a lot that they think that disagreeing with them on politics is a personal attack, and
it's never personal. No.
Yeah.
You know when I take it personal is when they dismiss things that are directly affected people. So if say the shoe was on the other foot and we were pushing for white people rights and equality and inclusion and it was like the same scenario, and they're like, oh no, it doesn't exist, it's all in your head and blah blah blah, and we don't see it and blah blah blah, and they don't acknowledge, right?
Yeah.
And that's when I start taking like, I was like, what do you mean you don't see it? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Fuel.
No, that is one. I mean, that is all personal. That is 100% personal. That stuff. I like.
Great.
It just cracks me up when like like they get mad at like if we're making jokes about them or even like saying like listen, I don't know that I would vote for Petty for state senator.
H is going to be held by
it doesn't change the fact that I really like when he comes down to the hot dog safari and kind of like helps us out. Like that's great. That's I'll have a conversation with him. He's been a guest on our shows. We've had great times with him. I love talking to him. But is he always going to be the best candidate for me to vote for? No, definitely not. So he's just gotta, I think
that doesn't make him a bad person.
No, yeah. In this city,
from character.
Exactly, and this city needs to move beyond this kind of friendly, like crony kind of like gang style politics of like I got my neighborhood and everyone votes for me despite the fact they have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, it's all absolutely.
It's all base level popularity.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm telling you, that's what I'm doing this summer. I'm throwing a whole bunch of backyard barbecues, and I'm inviting everybody in the neighborhood, and I'm telling them to invite somebody. We're gonna fill the backyard.
I mean,
they're like, "Oh, I miss her house. She's so nice. We're gonna vote for her."
If that's the game, then play the game.
Yeah, invite me.
It's like, just make sure you invite me.
Make sure you invite me. I love it. I was gonna vote for you anyway, but I'll vote for you twice if I can figure it out.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With the increase of fuel and gas and costs, there are a lot of people, a lot of residents rely on the city's communications to help them.
We're talking about communications. How do you talk about gas and rising costs and then communications?
That we have a great cable service.
I don't know what this is getting at.
Social media. If there is some local Worcester Community Action Council or some other local fuel assistance
programs out there, it would be terrific to really get this pushed out so that people are seeing it and it's in their face. Oftentimes when you're kind of going through it a little bit, you're not always able to access resources, and that worry certainly comes.
Yeah, I like Joe Petty as the mayor.
Not having
the bulwark against Tana Caloria.
Continue to
Joe Petty is like fine as the mayor, I suppose.
Media, to be able to help support people who
if the balance is shifted to the left, then I'm perfectly fine with him being the mayor.
Yeah.
But
I don't think Joe Petty would even like really understand what to do in state senate.
Joanna, I don't want to speak for you, but I will just say Joanna did say earlier in the night that she's going to be running at large, everybody, so get ready.
A number of folks.
Yes.
Support's got to start soon.
We got to do it again, and you know what it was? It was so many people that came up to me that were telling me, "Oh, I would vote for you if you were in my district." I'm like, "Damn it!" So now this go around, we're definitely going to go at large, and we're going to knock somebody off that totem pole.
Yes, Donna Calorio, please.
Barely hanging on.
I told you guys how I ran into her, and she was mean and nasty to me, right?
Oh, really? Whoa, no.
Oh, she was mean and nasty to me. Like, this is a personal experience that I had with this woman. Yeah. So
some challenge.
once you do something to me like that, it lights my fire.
Here you go, Donna.
You get a report.
You can't be treating people badly.
Also,
yeah.
So,
that Joanna, I looked at your Act Blue. It looks like it's not active right now.
Or community.
Okay.
But if once you get it going again, we'll plaster it on this thing every week.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get it going probably before the week is out. I thought it was still active, but I'll have to go in and check.
I'm gonna share your. Do you want to send people to your website that for the last run to kind of as a link, or do you want to have people add you on Facebook? What's the best way?
Yeah, the Facebook page is probably the best way. I have to update everything because now we're doing, the other one says District 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still good, but I want to kind of update it and get everything together, and so when people go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say then everybody hang tight. We'll have some more info in the next.
Yeah, but I am gonna run that as a definite, and
hear it.
Yeah, because we need to make some real change, and I'm not the way they vote, and everybody's so confused and they don't know what they're doing. It's like, come on now, this is not rocket scientists.
I just want to add,
you gotta have some definitive stuff going on here. When you go in for your city council meeting, you already know what's on the agenda. You know what way you're gonna vote. You write a mini speech that's like a half hour long.
There's something to that, and I'm sure that there's perhaps some ARPA monies or things like that. We might be able to,
I heard ARPA funds.
Thank you for the explanation. Thank you.
Legal, so send that to managers amended. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Okay.
Listen, Jessica, Jack was my social media guy too.
Jack does a fine enough job for my Instagram. He's okay.
Yeah, we're just razzing.
We're just ribbing him.
Somebody to watch.
Give one of his 14 cousins a shot next time.
3, bus routes as they relate to where the city's top 10 employees are located, and 4, what if any public input and or marketing efforts are occurring to improve ridership. Councilor Bergman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Someone get his mouth on the mic.
After speaking to a number of people and trying to take
Bergman for the first time tonight.
The sniper.
WRTA really needs a fresh look as far as where's ridership at. I know it's a service that wants to succeed. We want it to succeed, but as I look at it, I don't. Conversations and comments from the public prior have indicated and confirmed what I suspect, which is the overwhelming amount of the public I don't think even realizes that we're free. And as gas prices start inching towards $5 a gallon, it seems to me we're missing golden opportunity to connect people that have hardship and will have hardship paying for gasoline to a service that will get them to their employers, to their medical appointments, to wherever.
What is he talking about? I know he's talking about gas prices, but how is the city going to help the residents about
He's
the
talking
gas
about
prices?
since gas prices are expensive, more people should ride the bus, which is.
But also, we should charge for the bus again. I think.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But at the same time, he's missing the point entirely because he's not riding the bus. So, like, take a look in the mirror and ask yourself why that is, right? Because the bus isn't going where you want to be when you need to be there. So, like, your problem's bigger than advertising free bus fares.
Why would we not be encouraging more?
Yeah, I mean, he
justify.
That's the thing. Like exactly. This is
Yes.
exactly it. Like,
going to be helpful.
This is why I say they're out of touch. Like you offer up something, but you haven't even took the time to analyze it fully. Like, take the bus and talk to me about how you take the bus. How do you take the bus?
What's been the usage over the last
Yeah.
few years? Now I understand the usage probably went down for COVID.
Everyone who rides the bus knows that anywhere you're going, it's going to take you 2 hours to get there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's awful. It's like no one is deciding, oh, gas prices are too high, I'm gonna start taking the bus also. That is not something you just get to like assume happens. You know?
Yeah,
No, you're going into credit card debt before you're taking the bus.
Yeah.
Let's be real with ourselves here.
and this is a really good point too, because it's also this idea of like pointing them towards the bus. Like, hey, get on the bus.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
That's
You
for
take
you.
the bus.
I drive my fucking Mercedes, but you get on the bus. It's there for you. I made it for you.
So that if you miss the first bus, you still make it to work on time with the second bus, and then the same thing.
Mo
coming
Bergman's
back,
so
reverse
fucking
home.
annoying.
So that's another issue. And then, of course, the last issue on this item is, what's the WRTA doing to have public input to try to help with some of these issues? I'm
The
not
WRTA has an advisory board. They meet regularly. A lot of people know that already. Pay attention to it. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Mo Bergman. They have a whole democratic structure around them for public input. They have writer surveys all the time. You're such a fucking idiot for putting this shit on the agenda. If you don't know what you're talking about, don't fucking talk about it.
They certainly service beyond Worcester.
I agree with being self-mom about every council should ride the bus for a week, but like I don't know if I could commit to that.
Yeah.
Like, you got to do grocery shopping on the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do it.
There will be no hagiography of the WRTA on this program. The bus fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It could be good. It could be good. It's not good right now.
But exactly. That's what we should be working towards. Is good. Free fares is a great first step. Increased infrastructure for it is the next necessary step. Because like, what are you gonna do? When I didn't have a car, when I lived in Brighton and was riding the bus in the T, I couldn't go grocery shopping because how do you do that?
Yeah, like you can't.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to sign on. Yep.
It can't be done because it's an issue with federal dollars, but like the ideal solution, if they can work around it with the state legislature, is to take the 25 million or so that's allocated for public school transportation, push it to the WRTA, and have a dual purpose service that is literally blanketing the city.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't like
especially with all the problems we're having with the privately contracted bus services in Worcester,
Yeah, because we have all those bus drivers not working for school. They lost a whole bunch of bus drivers.
Durham transportation.
I'm interested to know this comment has got me intrigued about. Are we gonna figure? Is this another clue for me to figure out who Bill Mergman is?
I was driving down to the
ran a social media page. Does stand up? Interesting. Huh? I'm circling this.
So you're trying to find out who Mo Bergman is on here?
Yeah.
I just think
it's probably if they do stand up and they're from Worcester, it's probably Serenity.
It's probably
gotta be Serenity.
It's probably Serenity.
Yeah,
it's probably Jack Murray. Yeah, it's probably Jack Murray.
That's my ask.
See, this is why. Yeah, this is a good point.
Thank you.
But I love Serenity, so if it is Serenity, much love.
Organize the Irish flag to be raised.
And what a great name.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll find out. We're gonna find out.
In honor of the Irish American Heritage Month, the flag is up in front of the City Hall. So as it reads,
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, but could we include resolution 11A as part of
You
that?
want to do the resolution? Okay. It's up next anyways, so that the city council.
Yeah, see, that's the problem, Sweebo, with the buses. I can't do it.
Irish American Heritage Month in the city of Worcester, Council Toomey.
We're
And
actually
I'm not
doing that.
claustrophobic, but I don't like to be in an encapsulated space, especially during the summertime and not everybody's always clean. I don't want to be in a hot, sweaty bus. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, public transportation should be something that is good for everyone to use, but at the current moment, we have not invested in that shit in a meaningful way in decades. So,
yeah, I think they need to hire at least you know, at the beginning and end of each stop, at least somebody to clean the buses out, like, you know.
That'd be nice.
Wonderful place of culture.
Wipe some of that gum off the seats and stuff.
Yeah, when I lived in Boston, I was always taking the 66 bus. Man, that bus sucks.
Yeah, it's not the most pleasant. It's a means. It is a means, but it's not the best means.
Well, and I just think it's great. We just experienced the rebirth of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, which honored City Manager Augustus as well as our Dr. Hirsch.
I love the optics about having like a really, really serious race problem discussion, and then you're going to talk about
straight into Irish American history.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. As somebody whose name is Bryan Seamus O'Donnell, can we shut the fuck up about Ireland, please?
Seriously.
Well, you really vote on the resolution.
As a representative of County Clerk, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
On the item.
From the great state of Donegal, please shut the fuck up.
And take your garbage parade with you.
Yes.
Councilor King.
See, her and Bergman, they've been talking a lot in these last two topics.
Yeah, but they were pretty quiet.
Yeah, they were really quiet during the race relations.
Yeah, yes, they were.
A to 13, motion to accept. Councilor King.
Google me. Order, Mr. Chairman. Sure. I think we skipped item 10A. I was looking forward to voting on that in the affirmative, Mr. Chairman, via a roll call. And I think we skipped over it.
10A?
10N, the item regarding the diversity, the chief diversity officer. We never voted that.
Okay, bring it back, run it back.
I don't remember. I voted on that.
We just did all those in favor of opposed.
They did not vote on it.
Okay, so I'd like to be on the record in the affirmative. I don't know. I'd like a roll call if possible. I didn't realize that we had voted on that. I was waiting to vote yes.
Okay. You want a roll call on it?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, hell yeah.
Everybody's very supportive, so roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Yeah. Councilor Calorio?
Yes.
Councilor Gia?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes.
Councilor Merrill Carlson?
Yes.
Councilor Nguyen?
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Rose?
Yes.
Councilor Russell?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. 13A,
Present.
13E, motion is
While we're combining the CDO talk with Irish American history in Worcester. I know it's just a total coincidence, but so the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Worcester, 40 years old this year. That just so happens to coincide with the moment in time that the Department of Justice said, "Hey, Worcester, you know, you're like 40 years late on this whole school desegregation thing. And you start maybe moving some kids around the city via bus or whatnot." And then suddenly, like the Irish and the Italians said, "You know what? We need a fucking parade."
A damn statue.
Total coincidence, I'm sure, but
definitely a coincidence.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Table on the privilege. Communication City Manager recommends City Council authorization to establish a police cadet program by filing a special legislation to authorize appointments of police cadets under special circumstances.
I don't think Worcester should have this police cadet program, but Worcester should make a new police academy movie.
We can take a
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I remember like not too long ago when they were actually trying to go through the budget and put money towards the cadet programs. And they wanted to also do it for the fire department. They said yes for police, but no for fire department. Which I think we need more firemen than we do police. You know, there's always a burning building in this damn city.
Yeah, we don't need any cops. Any more cops? If you ask me, any cops in general, but definitely not anymore.
Yeah, and firemen they double down as EMTs. You know.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Police don't. Police just show up and watch you freaking die.
That's very true.
At no point in my
slap you
teenage
in the
years,
face for your trouble.
no point in my teenage years did I walk around singing "fuck the fire department."
Yeah, there's a reason why no one says "fuck the fire department," but "fuck the police" is pretty universal.
No.
Councilor
Yeah.
Hadjian?
No.
Councilor King?
No.
Councilor Carlson?
No.
Councilor Nguyen?
No.
Councilor Rivera?
No.
Councilor Rose?
No.
Councilor Russell? No. Councilor Chu?
No.
And Mayor Petty?
No. Request of the city manager by the council to report concerning any
And
actions
main
taken
tell mom,
relative to
it
the
is
installation
not
of
a
the
win
playground
for the
at
DEI.
Grove Street
Trust
of
me.
Worcester, located at 287 Grove Street. Councilor Rivera.
Yeah, so first I just want to amend the order. I already gave the information to the clerk. So request city manager provide city council with a report concerning any action taken relative to the installation of a
A lot of people in Burncoat are talk about the shot spotter whenever it pops, and it's every single time is a firework or a car backfiring, and they can't figure out like how does this keep happening? Every time, just comment on the Facebook post because it doesn't work. That's why it's a loud noise spotter.
Yeah, it is not. Oh my god.
Guys, she has a PowerPoint.
Hell yeah.
Use play space, right?
Who has a
Really,
PowerPoint?
we really doing a presentation right now?
Sarai.
You might as
She
well go
brought
to
a
executive
PowerPoint?
session.
Oh my god, that's the most punishing thing I've ever heard of.
This is for the playground.
I really feel like I'm missing something on this playground.
Yeah, me too. I don't just build a fucking playground.
Yeah, it's not that difficult. There's like it shouldn't be no hassle.
You
How
get
much
10,
money
you
is
get
the
$10
budget?
billion in ARPA funds. Just give them something.
Build the babies a playground, give them a little jungle gym and stuff. What is the problem?
Yeah, what's the problem? I don't really.
I shouldn't be able to read your entire presentation while you're talking. These
That's not what a PowerPoint is for.
Own lot at 20 Richard Street. So we
This is
actually-
tough.
we
This
actually
is a tough thing to.
You might have said no and said, well, go write up some plans and bring them back to me. And if if they're good plans, I'll okay it. Because
that
I
a
mean, this
pickleball
makes no
court?
sense.
That looks like a deck hockey. I'm down with this. Let's vote for this.
Yeah, why is this rising to the level of the city council? Why can't we just build the fucking playground? Just build the fucking playground.
It's right before the pandemic. Josh Leifer was telling me about a pickup deck hockey game. Now that we're back up and kind of, I don't know, whatever. Let's get that together.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'm down for that.
In the city for a lot of money for this, but
Yeah, the pink one looks
I think
cool
it's
as hell.
very doable. As you can see, what we're really looking is a multi-use play space that would not only be helpful for that.
Oh, this is
school,
probably
but
for
also,
soccer.
It could potentially be. It's
Oh, maybe that's why people are.
that
That
library,
rules.
that library that this
Yeah, it
administration,
does rule.
like the city manager has, I think is one of outside of the library, the main library.
Wow,
is
Mo, you're
highly
very good at trying to become an intern. I'm. Unfortunately, this is going to hurt your chances to become the Worcester Sucks intern.
also be able to be shared.
You're yeah. Fuck you too, bud.
Which doesn't have really, it has only.
I say build it. There should be no discussion about it. Let's take a vote. This is what would happen if I ran the city.
This is an extremely good point, Yanni. This is like, what's that Kelly Rowland video when she's texting on XL?
Oh, I might have to respectfully smoke a cigarette for this part, guys. I can't
Do your
handle
thing,
it,
dude.
I can't do it. I'll come back fresh and ready to
go.
Ready to go. Yeah.
An active space, and I think it just really coincides.
we've been talking a lot about understanding the chip and the reef.
Squeebo, have you ever watched the Worcester World Cup?
I think this really
it rules.
A perfect example of what we could be doing.
I'm gonna follow suit with Bill there. I'll be right back. My dog is pacing.
The dog needs a cigarette.
Me and her both.
We'll be here.
A really great project. I love the fact that it has all aspects as community, school administration.
I'll pop on and hang with you guys.
It's really getting
active
voices from community working.
Yeah, the city actually doesn't like building playgrounds. It likes building rectangles. That's like the whole Parks Department thing is like if it's not a rectangle field, they don't want to hear about it.
Is it the insurance?
Combination of insurance. They don't want. The city likes to keep its playgrounds and stuff like locked down. Like most of the schools have some form of playground, but they also have a big sign like that you're not allowed to use them when the school isn't open and you need permission from the city to use them. And then there's also the if it's a rectangle, it can be used for kind of anything. You can tuck a baseball field into it. It can be a soccer field, baseball field, but it's also boring and
thank you. So we'll send that people are signing on.
It's just a field, right? Like they're easier to lock up though.
Okay, so as amended, send that to the manager. All those in favor? Council, sign on. Yeah, I just said everybody. Okay. So refer that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Okay, brings us to the end of the meeting.
Oh, shit.
And, I thought Mr. Manager thought the parade was well done. I want to thank the city administration Sunday for everything they did. And the police.
Listen, how is a parade good or bad? You just need enough people in it so that it's not weird. And then don't yell at people for drinking booze at a Dunkin' Donuts cup.
And it was a good ceremony today with the fire department.
It was pretty sparse, especially in a lot of the photos. It only goes like one or two people back.
Good. Things are coming back.
Yeah, dude, it's always been the case. So, everyone's at the parade. They're just behind fucking blue jeans getting ripped up.
So
yeah, if you're old enough to drink legally, there's zero reason for you to be there.
Anyway, so we have a motion to adjourn. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Officer Lovely, great job tonight. Thank you.
Well, look at these.
Officer Lovely?
Yeah.
Is that his God-given name? That's incredible.
Yeah, the Lovelies are pretty prominent Worcester family.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
George, Sean. Yeah, Bill's getting Bill got plastered at the parade. I don't know. I'm gonna slander him. Yeah. Okay. I gotta find. Can we find that? Can you share that link again, Yenny?
I feel terrible about that. I would have brought up snacks had I known.
It's very easy to get on the tarmac at Worcester Airport.
Oh yeah,
I've done it before.
Yep.
You know when they do that World War II thing when they bring the planes up there?
Yep.
And you can pay to go out on the tarmac. You can pay to ride in take a flight in one of the planes, but that you have to go through security to get out on the tarmac because it's an active airport. And me and one of my friends just went up there to look at the planes, and then we were like, "Oh, let's go check it out." And there was kind of no one standing there, so we just walked out to the tarmac.
There's no security.
Imagine if I had a bazooka.
Anyone who's ever been to Hot Dog Annie's knows there's no security at that airport.
Yeah, you could walk across a field and just throw a rock at a plane.
Well, there is an article. All right.
Oh, yeah, we can do.
Not anymore. My record is now clean.
Congratulations.
I had dropped charges. Those are different.
Hello.
So we missed the end of the meeting happened. It was uneventful.
I heard it. I just didn't see it.
Oh, here we go. Can we get
for some JetBlue passengers in Worcester? They were forced to wait nearly an hour late last night just to get off their plane. Can you imagine?
When you're dying to get out those doors. It appears this was because of staffing. News Center 5's Mary Saladna is live in Worcester with the details. Mare.
Look.
Yeah, Erica, this was a regularly scheduled flight from JFK here into Worcester. It gets in around midnight, but last night there was no one here left at the airport to operate that jet bridge.
I heard that flight get in. That was like 1:30.
Passengers on a JetBlue flight landing in Worcester late Monday night, sitting on the tarmac because the crew that was supposed to operate the jet bridge had apparently gone home.
It was silence, and the pilot said, I have something embarrassing to tell you guys. There's nobody to get you off the flight.
Passenger Sabrina Ruel says it was almost comical at first, but 45 minutes later, no one was laughing.
Some people are making comments like, all right, we're starting to feel held hostage. They need to let us off. Can we jump out the window?
Ruel, a mother herself, says the wait was especially hard on families on board with young children.
You could tell they were already exhausted. And then they were stuck on the airplane for that whole time. The baby was crying.
A JetBlue spokesman tells News Center 5, we know any delay is a frustrating situation and apologize for the wait. We are working with our business partner, who operates our ground team in Worcester, to determine why a crew member was not in place at the jet bridge. Sabrina Ruel says it sure doesn't make sense. Last night's flight is on the regular schedule and was only a few minutes late.
So the state police were there, and they were going to have to kind of evacuate us from the airplane. But they also got hold of the JetBlue general manager and had to ask him to drive from his house to the airport to let us off the airplane.
Wow.
Now, JetBlue says it's in the process of emailing these passengers a $50 travel credit and an apology.
A $50 travel credit.
One way to Las Vegas because that's the cheapest place to go.
And then hopefully win enough to get a ticket back. I think.
And they didn't even get to use the slide. That's terrible.
I know some people that work at Worcester Airport, and this tracks. This totally tracks. I'm surprised they ever got there.
They said it's midnight. It's time to go. I'm clocking out. I'll see you tomorrow.
I got $50 when our flight got delayed because of snow. It had nothing to do with people walking out of the airport. $50 ain't nothing.
I'll get a $50. Yeah, I'll get a $50 voucher on nothing.
The whole crew left. Everybody was deserted. Nobody was.
To be fair, only like one person works at that airport at a time anyway, so it's not like
that nice old man in the convenience shop that sells bitter coffee.
Hey,
so nice.
You know what? An hour though, that's like as I stand up as soon as the plane lands, I'm ready to
made up my mind. I'm not running for city council anymore. I'm going to work at the airport.
Bring a
great hours. You're out right at midnight.
Yeah,
you're gonna
really.
fly for free.
I love leaving my work at home, or at work rather.
Wow. Well, that's insane. Thank you, Yenny, for sharing that with us. What a perfect encapsulation of Worcester.
Welcome.
Joanna, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This was really fantastic.
Thank you guys for having me. Really, I had a good time, and I didn't say anything too crazy. I really try to compose myself.
Yeah. And trust me, if you said something nuts, we would have clipped it.
Because I usually will, but I like, okay, just I was talking to myself in my head, like, girl, slow down. Don't say that.
We'd love to have you back next week.
Yeah, please come back with us when, and as the campaign gets going, we'll continue to share details with people and have you back to talk some more about it, and maybe throw a barbecue.
Yeah, definitely. I'm all about, listen, the summertime is coming. I just bought a house. I got a nice backyard. I'm trying to build a fence, which is way expensive, but I definitely am, and everybody is invited.
This is true.
Please
we have a great track record of having winning candidates on before their race. So
100%.
Let's get it going.
Game signs. We're gonna put it on a W.
I'm back. Hey, turn that barbecue into a fence building barbecue.
Bill, we were just thanking Joanna for coming on.
Of course, yeah, Joanna, you're awesome. Please come on whenever you want.
Oh, yes. Thank you, and I will get the David Fort information for you. I have not forgotten.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna write that down too.
Yeah. Once again, thank you to our sponsor, Crafty Kombucha. Please support Matt. It's the only ethical consumption under capitalism.
Yeah,
just a perfect slogan.
Yeah,
I really love it. So check out and available all over Worcester. Hopefully in more stores soon. And again, if they don't serve crafty kombucha at your local store, then you gotta
burn that shit to the ground.
Yeah, you gotta do it. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to hop on the trend because I was offered kombucha once before and I didn't drink it because I was like, I
it
don't
is
know.
good stuff. You
We'll
gotta
get you
try
some
it.
for the next
Yeah, we'll get you
stream.
some craft tea. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so because I can advertise it, like I can be a great hand advertiser. Be like,
there you
Matt
go.
would love that.
There you go.
I'm sure Matt would really appreciate that.
And we'll get you Bill's hat.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us tonight. BillShaner.substack.com. Check out Worcester Sucks and I Love It. Check out Worcester's Good But Hurts.
The
My
podcast.
girlfriend's favorite podcast. She
Hell yeah.
is constantly listening to it, and I'm very
TY.
excited. Yeah, hell yeah.
There's a comedy roast of Worcester tomorrow night at 8:00, and
Bingo.
I need jokes.
You didn't get enough jokes from tonight?
Everyone send me some jokes. I have learned over the past couple of days that I am not a stand-up comedian, that writing jokes is in fact very hard. And I am going to bomb. I'm going to absolutely thoroughly bomb.
No.
So,
you're gonna do incredible. Mo Bergen's gonna send you some joke pitches. It's tomorrow night right here on this channel. Just keep this page open until 8 p.m. tomorrow night. We have some great roasters on, some Worcester locals. We're gonna have a blast. So please join in. We would absolutely love to have you guys come and hang out with us. Mix it up in the comments like you do every Tuesday night here. Please come back tomorrow. Come back next week. We love having you guys so much. We love doing this show. And,
please clap.
Please clap. Please. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Good night.